groove of iHeartRadio's Fiesta Latina playlist. We unlock premium entertainment every single week. Just keep checking in to see what's available. Say free this week into your Xfinity voice remote.
Saturday, October the 14th, it's the Thomas Wolfe 8K, Asheville's oldest running event. Come and celebrate its 46th year in downtown Asheville. The course starts at the Thomas Wolfe House, takes you through downtown in Montford and past Thomas Wolfe's final resting place in Riverside Cemetery. This race helps support Read to Succeed in Asheville and Buncombe County. For more information and to get signed up, go to thomaswolfe8k.com. That's thomaswolfe8k.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on a Power Rankings Tuesday. We are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Monday Night Football doubleheader last night.
Woo! Let's have two games that are just big old snoozers.
That's what I was doing last night. I slept all the way through it. I knew how that was going to end.
We're all good on the Baker thing, right? I don't have to hear that anymore. Oh, weird. You play a legit defense, and you are exactly what I have said for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons doesn't matter.
He can look okay at times, and then it's just not. It's not good as a whole when you see it. 25-11, a late touchdown, making that look better than it was.
Woo!
Yay!
That was fun. Never in my life have I bounced back and forth between two games. Will one of you do something?
It was a very uneventful night.
By the way,
offensively.
my 5 on it parlay last night. Let's see, Eagles under. Joe Mixon first touchdown scorer. Jalen Hurts. Bengals. But we had the over. But we had the over.
So just missed that one leg on the parlay.
5 legs, and I'm sitting going, just score! That's all I need you to do. I got everything exactly right. But Joe Burrow on one leg cannot accurately throw a football.
No. I mean, as the game went on, I guess he got better. He made enough plays to sustain the drives and to be able to get, Evan McPherson some more fantasy points. It was all up to the kicker other than Joe Mixon last night for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, I mean, and Jamar Chase, who I think had 417 targets.
But, I mean, if you had to give out the ubiquitous, MVP awards at the end of each of these games, it has to go to the defenses. It has to go to the Philadelphia defense. It has to go to the Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, Philadelphia is – I still have a lot of concerns about Jalen Hurts because he just doesn't look comfortable.
Oh, but he had the flu.
Oh, of course he did. Give it a day, he'll have Rona. He's so brave. He's so brave. Played poorly through super sniffles.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, Jason Kelsey, and multiple other Eagles is the report that's coming out today. Had flu-like symptoms for the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah. If they had been full health, they'd have beat you 45-11.
100%.
That defense for Philadelphia is absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're supposed to do because now, as if from nowhere, Jordan Davis has become a good pass rusher. I don't know when that happened. I think I've watched every play of Philadelphia Eagles defensive football this year. I didn't realize that.
Well, I mean,
he gets consistent pressure. Jalen Carter is woof. That kid's good at football.
And when you put either of them on the field next to Fletcher Cox, it's damn near impossible to block, especially for
I
a team
did enjoy that
doesn't hang their hat on that.
your team attempted to run the ball in the first half, and then they just went, nope, we're done. We're done with that. Actually, all four teams, three of the four teams did that.
They didn't until they abandoned it until it's 4th and 10 on the 1 yard line, and they went, hey, you know what always gets us positive plays when we're looking for 1 yard? A run up the middle. Let's do that with Rachaad White. Thank you, Todd Bowles. Please go crawl into a hole somewhere and hit yourself with a tack hammer. God.
That was a very specific instruction.
I mean, I've had these thoughts running through my mind ever since last year.
That sounds like crimes.
It's not crimes. It's not crimes to think about it. It's crimes to do anything about it, which I would never do because I don't want to physically harm someone over a stupid football game. Unlike, apparently, I don't know.
Me?
Well,
like me?
Well, every fan group. Have we not had a massive brawl in the stands so far this year? I think I've seen 2 or 3 videos after every weekend of the football season.
Yeah, stop being a jerk in the crowd.
God.
I've been to a couple games this year. Don't be jerks in crowds.
Right.
And I should probably take that advice myself.
Yeah. Anyway, last night went about exactly as I thought it was going to. I didn't think we were going to see.
Not good.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to see the bounce back from the Philadelphia offense. I mean, granted, they ran the ball great.
That's the part I want to talk about. Last week I said I had concerns with Jalen Hurts, and I want to definitively say I still do.
Mm-hmm.
I now don't care because you can run the ball. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You can run the ball down their throats. You just have to do it. And I don't know why it takes Brian Johnson so long to figure that out every single week. When you have a team that runs the ball to this extent, they carried it 40 times last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, DeAndre Swift was the far better of the two. Can we stop with Kenneth Gainwell? And maybe stop showing Rashad Penny of, oh, look how sad he is. He took Philadelphia's money and now they don't use him. Yeah, because he's awful. And so is Kenneth Gainwell. DeAndre Swift should get 85% of the touches out of that backfield.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's shot out of a cannon every time he touches the ball. We're in a group chat with a bunch of people that listen to this show, and several of them are Eagles fans. It started maybe 5 minutes into the game, and it lasted well into the third quarter. Can we please run the damn ball? If I'm Brian Johnson, I'm going to keep doing that until somebody proves they can stop it. And I'm not sure anybody can. Because you look at how good that offensive line is, how good DeAndre Swift has looked, how much attention you have to pay to A.J. Brown because, well, you learned last night if you don't have a corner that can defend him, he can be half of your passing offense.
Yes.
And sometimes, at times, more. I don't know how you stop it.
Very difficult to defend.
I still have just huge reservations about Jalen Hurts because he does not look the same without Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
He looks – on both sides of Shane Steichen, he looks like exactly the same quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He got that 2 years of him where he looked like an MVP. He does not look like an MVP anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, but it did take time. It took time for him to grow into that offense and figure out what he was doing, and maybe that's the case here. Maybe Dennis has changed so much, right? Maybe he's changed so much in the offense that it's just he's not grasping it right now.
Or
Brian, I'm sorry.
Not
Dennis
who is
Johnson.
Dennis?
Not Dennis Johnson, Brian Johnson.
Dennis Johnson he played for the Celtics in the 80s.
He did. I just saw, I was scrolling through something and saw Savasier Dennis, and I guess that's where my mind went with the Dennis thing. Anyway, maybe Brian's changed up a lot in the offense, and he's just growing into it. I saw the replays, the highlights and such, and I watched the little recap of the game with Troy and
Joe
dumbass.
Buck.
Joe Buck.
You just hate him. Joe Buck could save a bus full of children and puppies, and you would still just hate his
Don't care.
guts.
He was doing PEDs when he did it, which makes him a bad person.
I've never looked at Joe Buck and thought that. I look at Joe Buck and go, that guy drinks expensive wine and tells you how good it is and why you're so lesser classed because you don't love it too.
Good, so you're on my side then. Yeah, he's terrible. He's a horrible person.
I didn't say that. I don't see Joe Buck being the guy that goes, hey, it's $1 Margs at Applebee's. Let's go.
No.
He's like, there's a new wine bar that opened up down the street. I hear they have a great charcuterie board.
He's the guy that sticks his nose in the cup and goes, that smells like 1975.
The tannins. You really got to get the tannins.
Just stop it.
Yeah, I'm going to chug that if you'll hand it to
The
me.
Ryan Seacrest of the football world. I mean, of course. Anyway, I watched their little recap, and Troy Aikman's big takeaway was, it's really impressive that the Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0 right now because they haven't played well. Okay, but they haven't played anybody good either. I mean, they played the New England Patriots, which is the best of the three that they played. They played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, there's also a great possibility that they'll be 6-0, and when I say a great possibility, I mean it's fitting to happen, and won't have played anybody good.
Sure, and they can't
you
control
get the Commanders
who they play.
this week,
right?
And Washington fans, you should get that pig and have maybe a therapy session before what Philadelphia's getting ready to do to you, because it's not going to be nice.
And yes, no, I'm not saying this to say that what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing isn't impressive. I just thought that was a weird way to say, man, I'm really impressed with this team. This is beating 3 dog water opponents. And guess what?
But
Next week, they're really
well.
going to prove it because they get to play the Commanders next.
And then they play the Rams and the Jets. Let's go.
The Rams will be a step up in competition
from
what they've played so far.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Is it, though?
Sure it
or
is.
Are they we're going to talk about that later.
Sure it is. Step up over the Commanders, at least.
Is it, though? I'm not so sure it is. I'm not sure they're not all just bad.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
But that's kind of my point with Philadelphia is you look up and down the schedule, yes, you do have to play the Miami Dolphins. Yes, you play the Chiefs, you play the Cowboys, you play the Bills, you play the 49ers. Other than that, the Philadelphia Eagles could sleepwalk to 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
You win a couple games against good teams, you're the one in the NFC, and everybody has to go into Philadelphia and beat you.
Yep.
And that goes to what I was saying earlier. When you're playing defense to this level, bad teams, not bad teams, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And you're running the ball to this point, you're practically unbeatable. Where I'm afraid this is going to catch up to you is in the playoffs. I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound a little strange.
Okay.
There's a grand possibility that we get to the divisional round of the NFC playoffs, and I'm not confident that there's a great quarterback left. Because it could be Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, and Geno Smith.
Could be. Jalen's not great for you anymore? He slipped off that mantle?
He was never great.
I mean, the last time we did a quarterback ranking, though, I believe he was like 3.
He was
Might have been 2.
No, he wasn't that high.
Let's see.
He was not ahead of Pat Mahomes, and he was not ahead of Joe Burrow. I can tell you that much.
Okay, so he might have been 3.
I don't know that he was ever great so much as he fits into a system really, really well, which is a lot of what the NFL is.
Mm-hmm.
There are only a couple guys that could win everywhere. But you look around the NFC and just go, okay, I don't love Brock Purdy. I don't love Dak Prescott. I don't love Jalen Hurts, and I can keep doing this. Who do I love? There's no quarterback in the NFC that I love. G.G. Gambling's been screaming that Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback in that conference for weeks, and I'm getting to a point that I'm not sure he's wrong.
He may not be. I think Jared Goff needs to be in this discussion.
Oh, we can mention his name in the passing of, hey, look, here's another one. Second verse, same as the first, of mediocre quarterbacks that are just playing in a bad conference. The NFC is bad. A bad team is going to make the playoffs, which means Philadelphia and San Francisco and the Dallas Cowboys are going to walk all over the vast majority of you. We sat here and did power rankings this morning, and it shocked me how many AFC teams that I had higher probably than they should, because if they were in the NFC, they'd make the playoffs.
Right. There's no doubt that there's a big disparity between the talent in the two divisions. but that's where we are. Did it hurt the Philadelphia Eagles last year when they rolled through the NFC?
Until they played Pat Mahomes, who was a big boy quarterback, and
yeah.
Oh, he hung in for 3 quarters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me about that pass interference again. I've only heard about that 417 times.
Right. But I mean, hell, you had a shot to take down the champs, and the ball bounces your way. Maybe you could have done it.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Welch. I have to.
What is he saying?
You mentioned Troy Aikman said that he was impressed by the Eagles in their 3-0 start.
Yeah.
He also said he was looking forward to Toy Story football.
Yeah.
He said that multiple times. And every time it came out of his mouth, I went, "Shut up, nerd! Because you will not watch 1 second of that, just like none of the rest of us will."
Because they paid him to. That's why he said it.
Can we stop with that?
No.
I already hate this, and it hasn't even happened yet.
I can't wait for it.
Of course you can't. Because you're a big, plushy child.
I am.
And I have this weird feeling that somehow that's going to be the feed of this game that you're watching while we're doing a fantasy show on Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
Ugh. Look, it's Toy Story football. Awesome.
I'm just interested to see what it looks like. I'm curious.
Awful. It's going to look like it was made for 7-year-olds.
It could be cool.
How's it going to? You tell me how that's going to happen. So you've got Pixar versions of NFL players.
Yeah.
And it's between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have one very long-haired Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I guarantee you, they'll be like little army men. And it's going to be the most ridiculous, stupid thing.
Absolutely. They'll interact with the with the Toy Story characters. I'm sure there'll be crap going on in the background, little Easter eggs to look at. I mean, it's for kids. How can you be so Grinchish over this?
Well, I mean, you already know the answer to that.
I mean, I do,
but you just don't want to say it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get fined by the FCC.
But no, because I didn't enjoy kid things when I was a kid. And now the fact that, the mothership has been force-feeding us this like a dog with a pill.
Well, I mean, they have to. I mean, you got to give them you got to give the animators, I guess, something to do.
Or, here's a thought. You could not. Could you not? Could we stop doing this?
You don't think anybody's going to watch it?
I don't care if anybody watches or not.
But that's the point. That's the point, is to get more eyeballs on this than you normally would. And hey, maybe this is a great way for a dad who has children who's not into football. Maybe I can get them into football this way. Maybe I can get my 7-year-old to sit down and watch a game if it's in Toy Story vision or whatever.
And I heard every word that you said. Let me take what you said and put it into Jeremy speak. This is 2023 for children don't like football, so let's mold football to what you will like, because we don't like telling you, no! And that was the Grinch moment of the day.
I was going to say, that was Mr. You went full old man on the porch.
You know what? I'm getting there. Abe Simpson and I we're starting to
just screaming at them kids to get out of your yard.
100%. I just mowed that grass.
Them squirt guns on my car. I just washed it yesterday.
I just cut that grass and you're putting footprints in it. You little heathens, go get a job.
Don't you trample my begonias.
Go get a job and don't do crimes. You little
It's so ridiculous
jerks.
that you take these stands against something so benign. Like, okay, you don't want to watch Toy Story football? Don't watch it.
I don't care do you have to force feed it?
Yes, I have to promote my product.
But do you have to do it at every break?
Yes.
Every single break?
Yes.
This was like Chris Fowler last night. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
This was like Chris Fowler last night. Every time they went to commercial, he had to tell us it was the whiteout game for the Bengals. No kidding. You know what told me that? My eyes. You don't have to say that every time you go to commercial.
Right.
I am just an old man, and I want these kids out of my yard.
Screaming at those clouds. Wow.
I'm angry. I didn't sleep well. I stayed up to watch 2 stupid football games that didn't teach me anything.
No, it didn't teach you anything. If you were looking to learn anything from last night.
Everything I thought going into last night just was confirmed.
Yes.
Now I'm sleepy and I need a nap.
Eagles defense, good.
I got some soup coming that I'm going to eat in the break.
Tampa, not good at football. Cincinnati, still struggling. L.A., we're not really sure what they are.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Cincinnati and L.A. because last night to me was very obvious, and it doesn't seem like people got the message of what last night was.
You're in the Sportsocracy. That's coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
I thought I was going to have to go through a hip replacement or some painful, unsuccessful surgery or be crippled the rest of my life.
Electrical engineer Dan Vogler had awful arthritic pain in his hips. Pain that not only affected him physically, but also emotionally. And it spilled over even to his relationships.
I was almost mean. If you're in pain and other people don't sympathize with it, you're lashing out at the wrong people.
But then Dan found QC Kinetics with the latest advances in regenerative medicine, non-surgical treatments with lasting relief.
I felt immediate relief. I mean, within half a day, much of the inflammation and pain was down.
And today, Dan says he's totally pain-free, living the life he wants.
At the end of the fourth treatment, I felt pretty much healed and enthused and was raving about QC Kinetics. I can recommend them highly to anyone.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Max Headroom going on there. It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. We are the Sportsocracy.
We got our first one of these of the day.
Yes, sir.
I'm your huckleberry.
It's from our buddy Curtis Davis, who said, say what you will about Toy Story football, which is stupid, but I would have paid a lot of money for Patrick Starr to rip Russ and Newman in that 70-20 beatdown.
Heck yeah.
All right, I'll give you that.
Can we have like what was it, the pig and the Mr. Potato Head? They were like the quirkiest of the group. Can we have them doing side by side, play by play? George Wendt and the dude from Cheers, Cliff. So it's the two guys from Cheers doing the play-by-play. Can we have them just like ripping apart, I don't know, AJ Terrell or somebody?
Yeah, but it's not as fun unless it's Russell Wilson.
Desmond Ridder, come on.
Not as fun. Not as fun. They did a poll, most hated player in the NFL, Russell Wilson. By a lot.
Well, that was until the Travis Kelce news came out.
No, we don't all hate Travis Kelce. No, a lot of look. You're going to tell a story here pretty soon. There's a high-end player in the NFL that's calling for other NFL players to take their shot.
Absolutely.
Personally, I'm looking at Travis Kelce just going, "Good for you, bro. This is not going to end the way you wanted to." But I mean, I don't know how many relationships that girl's got to have that end the same way before you go, maybe I shouldn't.
You know, regardless if they stay together or not. Which is probably not.
I'll go. If there were a betting line on it, I would say not is minus 15 million.
This is going to go just swimmingly for Travis Kelce. Don't make any mistake about that.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that already did a reality show, a reality dating show. Now you're getting all these jersey sales cranked up because T-Sizzle.
You're getting there.
Or Swizzle or whatever his stupid name is.
Yeah. This is how Travis Kelce becomes the next Tom Brady. I mean, this is how he gets into the mainstream. This is how he gets into that level of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. This is his breakthrough moment.
All right. I'll give you that.
I mean, he's going to have teenage girls everywhere running around wearing Travis Kelce jerseys.
Well, I mean, look, Travis Kelce has always been the best in the NFL at catching sixes, and he just didn't get one.
I love it.
Yep.
That's my favorite.
Jeremy at thesportsocracy.com, and I will probably delete it.
Yeah, it's just too easy. See, we thought, never mind. We'll talk about Taylor Swift next segment. Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. Did you take anything away from that? Did you? I mean, other than sporadic moments of seeing how the offense is supposed to work, which I still hate because it's still the dink and dunk, keep it short, chunk away parts of the field. Still can't run the ball while you're doing that. But there are times where Baker does seem to have a grasp of the Dave Canales offense, and it'll be good enough to
keep you away from Caleb Williams and keep you away from Drake May.
Sure. I mean, we're on that path, right? We've already admitted that as a franchise. We're on the path to 6 to 7 wins and a number 8 slot in the draft next year.
And have to give up everything to get that next quarterback.
Yeah.
Because Baker Mayfield is the cat of the NFL. He's got 9 lives, and nobody can justifiably explain to me how he keeps getting opportunities.
Mm-hmm. This team is just good enough to not pick high, which was the number one fear I had coming into the season, and it's absolutely true because the defense can still make plays. There are still good stars on that defense. The problem is when it comes to putting it all together as a whole and going out there for 4 quarters and laying it all out on the line, you're going to screw it up somewhere.
Oh, speaking of that, I got a message on this, and I'm going to be 100% honest about this. HWA and I are actively selling a house. It closes very soon. I am very happy about it. I forgot that I had teased a mock draft. You ever forget? Happened to me. I totally forgot.
I don't remember you doing that.
Tomorrow, mock draft Wednesday.
Okay.
It'll come out after the show.
Okay.
I will be recording that tonight.
All right. Joshua Pennick says, I swear Mike Evans drops one catchable ball every week. Okay. He should have had the touchdown throw or would-be touchdown throw from Baker Mayfield, but it was way behind him. Let's not play like that throw was on target, going to where it needed to be.
No, Mike Evans looks like the only guy at a company that's working real hard, and every time he does it, did you notice him after the touchdown last night? He just catches it and chucks it in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're stupid! I hate Baker Mayfield.
No, that's I'm going to get mine. Who's coming to get me? He's doing the Jerry Maguire thing, just going, who wants me? Who's coming to get me? Because that's all this season's about for him now. He's not getting a deal next year, and he's definitely not signing for – they're not going to give him a whole bunch of money, and he's not coming back. So now it's all about just padding the stats for him.
I don't know. It would be nice for a young quarterback to have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but
they're not gonna. I have no faith that they're going to do that.
I don't disagree with you. Something I want to touch on before the commercial break. Jack S. asked in the YouTube chat, get it, it's a team game and human error happens, but what way would you work on ref errors in football games, such as the one in the Ravens-Colts games? I think there should be fines. I personally put them in jail for like a week. They'd stop. Some of these officials are so – there were two last night that I still cannot wrap my head around. Tutu Atwell has a touchdown. There is nothing to overturn that. They overturn it. What in the world did you see? You have the exact same angles that we do. There's nothing that you saw. If you called him out of bounds, you could have kept it that way. If you called him inbounds, you have to keep it that way. Nope, overturn it. The inconsistency in officiating is one of many things that's going to put me in an early grave because it is maddening to me. But there's nothing you can do.
No.
I mean, finding these guys, how much you going to find them? Every single one of these guys has other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So the money's not really going to hurt them. They make a buku of money to do this.
I mean,
especially as a second job.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a way that you could, but once you start doing that, then you're going to take guys out of the pool. And then
Which
you're
you
going to
don't want to do.
No.
You do not want to dilute that anymore.
These guys are already, unfortunate to say, these guys are already the best of the best, right? It's hard to become an NFL official.
No doubt.
Passing all the classes, knowing all the rules, doing all the things. These guys are the best of the best, and we still have problems with it.
Yeah.
If we start kicking them out, then we're going to go. You want to go get some Pac-12 officials?
Yeah, go watch a
Come on, bud.
Go watch a MAC game, and you'll realize, well, we need to be really nice to these guys.
Exactly.
As somebody that loves betting Tuesday Maction, which is coming soon, by the way, I've seen some really bad officiating.
Yeah, I don't want to turn this over to lesser mortals. Let's just deal with the jackwagons that we have. Now, there are some. I'm not sure who those would be off the top of my head.
The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know.
Right. There are some that I would cull from the herd. I mean, there have been bad ones in the past that, I keep thinking back to, Major League Baseball, keep doing it with Angel Hernandez and Jerome Boger. Is he still around?
Yes.
Well, see, he's one that we could probably do without Jerome Booger. We can find somebody. Booger McFarland would be better official than Jerome Boger at this point. But that's not my call to make. There's a way you could start punishing officials, but once you do that, the quality candidates are going to leave. And I feel like the quality of candidate that you would get after that, behind these guys, is not going to be anything close to what you want. So, it's imperfect. You want to go to robot referees?
I have no personally, I have no problem with that.
Really?
Put a sensor in the ball. We got technology. 30 million people are watching these games.
You going to leave it up to a robot to tell you whether something's pass interference or not?
We got 30 million people watching these games. We got the money. We got the technology.
We give enough power to AI. I'm not interested in giving them more.
Don't speak ill of AI. They will rule us all one day. And I bet they keep receipts like Deion Sanders.
Thank God I'll be dead by then. If not, I'll go down fighting. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. When we come back, it'll be time to get just a bit outside. We'll talk about Tay-Tay.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray sky wins the next few days, but really not a ton of rainfall. Some sun pushes through the clouds this afternoon. No mention of rain today, 75. Tonight, a chance of showers late, 59. Tomorrow, some fog back into the morning. Some light rain and showers scattered around throughout the day, 70 degrees, but again, emphasizing not much rain. Thursday, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Friday, mostly sunny, 78. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at blindster.com.
The biggest stars in all of music shared the stage at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Brought to you by Capital One.
Let me hear you.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne, Lil Durk, Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott, Tim McGraw,
TLC.
30 Seconds to Mars.
The most massive live music event of the year.
See all the action now at iHeartRadio.com/festival and get ready to relive it with an iHeartRadio Music Festival special.
Streaming on Hulu next month.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slower. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under. Like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer. The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and I liked Travis Kelce, and he's fine as a person.
That sounded past present.
I'm still trying. I love him as a dude. And I love him as a player, and his attitude and personality are all fantastic, but I don't know if I can handle Taylor Swift being thrust upon the NFL in this manner. Do you remember a few weeks ago when we told you the story that Taylor Swift had said no to the Super Bowl halftime show? And we all celebrated, and we all, woo, no Taylor Swift. And then she starts dating an NFL player, and now it's all anybody can talk about. And I'm so sick and tired of it.
And we also got Usher for the Super Bowl halftime show. How many people said no before we got there?
Well, look, I started thinking about it, and I said, how did you get to Usher to be the halftime show? And then as I thought, I went, well, we did have The Weeknd do one.
Oh,
so
that was awful. I've still
Usher,
got vertigo from that.
Usher is just, as far as popularity and record sales, success, and things like Usher is just, he's the moon compared to The Weeknd.
Oh, no. Well, not now.
Isn't he?
No.
I mean like all the time? Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. 2004 called, they want their halftime show back.
Is he going to bring out Lil Jon with him?
I have no idea.
We do that Run It song. That was a good one.
I heard somebody doing they were trying to run down the songs that Usher was going to play, and I went, nope, never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Nope, never heard of that either.
No, never been an Usher fan, but I've never been a Swiftie. I don't get the Taylor Swift thing. I didn't get it when she was in country music. First off, I'm not a big fan of country music, so I didn't even pay attention.
She wasn't in country
when she was a country music star.
She wasn't in country.
What?
Taylor Swift never did country.
Are you high right now? I mean,
I don't remember her ever. She's got a
Taylor
little
Swift
bit of an
was
accent.
the biggest country act going when she was younger.
Don't remember that in the least.
See, now you're making me.
I mean, we got a chat full of people that will say, "Hey, Jeremy, you put your fingers in." I mean, I'm not going to tell you it didn't happen. I just don't in any way remember that.
I mean, she only has like 8 million CMA awards for best song, best music video.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so she started in
Teardrops
music.
on My Guitar. I drank that away. Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that.
I was going to say, I know I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, I remember the Teardrops on My Guitar thing.
All right, so anyway, then she makes the crossover to pop and becomes the biggest thing since sliced bread, and I just don't get it. Never gotten the music. The funniest Tay-Tay moment for me is in the show Ballers when The Rock was driving down the road doing the Shake It Off song while he was driving. That was the funniest thing, and that was the first time I went, oh, is that a Taylor Swift song? So when I see all of these sports heads talking about Taylor Swift and throwing in Taylor Swift song titles into your catchy little
stop doing
reports and stuff, I don't get it. I know what you're doing. I know exactly, because you'll say a word and then you go, teardrops on my heart, and then wait for the laugh. You're not getting the laugh out of me because I don't know any of her songs. So stop it.
No, you know what the best Taylor Swift song is? The last one. Whatever one is where she stops making noise. That's my favorite Taylor Swift song. And It's not all that close.
Right. Anyway, everybody's just crazy over Taylor Swift outside of the football world, apparently, and I don't even get it, not nary a little bit. She's always just struck me as a whiny little crybaby teenager, and it's not going to cross over for me. I apologize. But I will say, Micah Parsons' take on this whole thing has been fantastic. He was on his podcast yesterday, and he has seen the light of what Travis Kelce's trying to do here, and he wants every other star in the NFL to get on board. Here's what he had to say.
Damn, you shot from deep and you score. You Stephen Curry, my brother. You might be the new Steph of football. That's dope. I can't even lie. I think I want to see someone shoot at somebody else. The NFL, we up right now. City Boys is up. Hey, I challenge all my other NFL guys, start shooting from deep. Shoot from deep. Let's see if someone can get somebody like, I don't know. Oh, I got to think about this. We got to start shooting, brother. I am publicly shooting. Zendaya, shoot at Zendaya, something. We got to start going, brothers. I think Trav set the standard for this.
He did. Travis Kelce has now set the standard. NFL stars, you need to start shooting higher. No more of this, mid-level B actress stuff. Right? Shailene Woodley, we're shooting for the top now. We're going for the moon.
You done? Can we I feel like if there was ever something in the history of sports that should be put on conversation probation,
it's
Tay-Tay.
I'm all in.
Or Kelsey Swift or whatever. I mean, can I officially
do it?
Hit the gavel.
Yep. Where's that?
We have a gavel just for this.
It's
no
decided.
more.
No more.
I don't care. A ring comes out, we can mention it. We're 2 days into this. I already hate her worse than I already did, and I'm starting to dislike him, which is sad because I loved him.
But when I said this is going to go just the way Travis Kelce wanted it, 400% increase in his jersey sales since the Taylor Swift news came out. It's the last time we'll mention it.
That was where we were. James Rarick in the YouTube chat was like, you do realize you're doing the same thing you're complaining about.
I am.
We were building to
exactly.
We were getting somewhere with that.
Exactly.
I'm not doing this anymore.
No, stop it.
I knew that we were headed on a path when Ariel from next door came by and said we should keep doing Taylor Swift content. I went, I don't think we should. Now, I mean, I'm glad you liked it, and I'm glad you saw it, but what we do, even if you came in for that, you would delete it immediately because you're not going to like anything I have to say about that.
Right.
And even less, you're going to like nothing that I have to say about her.
But that's everybody feels the pressure, right? That's the popular thing, so you got to do the content.
But is it the popular thing? I would argue there is something else that is gaining in popularity in spite of how stupid the organization that runs it is. That be college football.
Aha.
Game of the weekend this weekend was what?
This past weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Was Ohio State Notre Dame.
There you go. That's the one I'm talking about. Ohio State beats Notre Dame on a final play. 10 guys on the field. Talked about some of that yesterday. But now we have a number on how many of yins watched it. And it was a whole mess. Take a stab at how many viewers that game averaged.
Ohio State?
Ohio State, Notre Dame. On NBC in primetime.
I don't know.
You're usually in the 3 to 4 to 5 million range.
I was going to say 8.
It averaged 10.5.
There you go.
And it peaked with 14.2 during the game-winning drive. Do you know what beats that?
What?
NFL games. Nothing else. Nothing else beats that. It was the second most watched regular season college football game in the history of NBC Sports. Do you know what beat it?
What?
The only game that's ever been more watched than this.
Colorado.
Nope. Notre Dame, Florida State in 1993 when they were 1-2 in the country.
There you go.
It had 22 million. And we're trending back into numbers like that.
Mm-hmm.
College football, we talk about this a lot. Why does the NCAA not get its mess grouped? Because they don't have to. Because we're going to watch it and consume it at a high level no matter what they do. So, Tez, that you've been upset about forever, yeah, guess what? They don't care.
Yeah, no.
They ruled on it, and they're done.
Mm-hmm.
I was dumbfounded when I saw that number.
It's quite a lot.
Oh, I have to verify something. Just
what?
If you've got a thing you'd like to talk about.
If I've got a thing.
Yeah, because I'm afraid what I just read is, oh, good Lord.
What?
Hit your stupid button.
Yeah!
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Tay-Tay wishes she had moves like that.
This is from Adam Schefter. The New York Jets are planning to add to their quarterback room.
Of course they are.
No, it's done.
Oh.
They have signed a quarterback pending a physical. What's the worst name I could say right here? And let me preface what I just said. Not who is the one that's going to make me the saddest, because that could be Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. That could be a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of that means absolutely nothing to anyone because you may possibly be worse than what we already have.
Mm.
He has started games in the NFL. That is the clue I will give you.
Nick Mullins.
Worse.
CJ Beathard.
Worse. He's got a real funny last name that I like to mispronounce when we're not on FCC radio.
I don't know.
Trevor Siemian!
Yeah!
Awesome.
He's better than what you got.
Wow. That's
how bad this is. That's better than what you have.
No, it's not. I've already seen that. I've already read this book. Trevor Siemian's already played for the Jets once. You remember when old Sammy Darnold had mononucleosis because he went kissing people at a New York nightclub? Do you remember who came in for him? That was Trevor Siemian. Do you remember how long he lasted? About a quarter until Myles Garrett broke him like a chopstick.
Well, see, you just didn't get to see what he could be.
Ugh. I hate the New York Jets so much. I really do. It's almost like you're doing it on purpose. You just want to sign people that will make me angry. And there is a joke in his last name that I'm gonna make on YouTube before it's all said and done.
It's hard to make anybody happy around that building.
I just
started out so well, and then
started from the bottom. Now we're back.
Oh.
I'm your huckleberry.
Soaring Eagle, as we were talking about Usher in the Super Bowl halftime show, why couldn't they just have Godsmack? I would be all in favor of that.
Absolutely.
You give me a Godsmack, Creed, Hootie and the Blowfish.
Stop it with Creed.
Goo Goo Dolls, Counting Crows, Crash
Crows?
Test Jud Dummies. I'm just trying to think of all the mid-90s bands that I like.
Let's go. Counting Crows. I want to see Sully Erna and the dude from Counting Crows do Long December
Did
together.
you see the video of Scott Stapp from that Nightmare of a Blue Ridge Rock Festival?
No.
Oh, he was so into it. Yeah, did you hear the story about Blue Ridge Rock Festival?
No.
So there was a big music festival in Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't plan for hurricane season, and the wind and the rain started blowing. And their campsites got flipped over, shows got canceled. There were buses leaving people on the side of the road. It was like Woodstock 99 level bad. I have seen not one video of any act on stage except that Oliver Anthony guy.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, somebody sent me a video of Scott Stapp, and he is in a pair of leather pants, and in his brain, it is 1998, and he is the star of the show. I mean, he is both hands on the mic with the bent knee.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell do you wear? Go down. Woo, let's go. And there's 9 people there that are all angry.
And everybody's staring at the stage like, didn't you die?
Everybody's staring at the stage going, weren't they a Christian band? He seems very angry for a Christian band.
Yeah. Oh, man. He's seen some stuff, though. They ever finish that movie, by the way?
The one where he's playing Frank Sinatra?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No wonder. Ugh, Creed.
That's a movie I will watch.
Yeah, I would be all about a Godsmack halftime show.
I just can't wait to hear him as Frank Sinatra start singing New York, New York. Start spreading the news, I'm leaving today.
But that's never going to happen. We're never going to get the Super Bowl halftime show, the guy halftime show that we want, right? That's what we want. We want like Jimmy Kimmel and Norm Macdonald. Wasn't it Norm Macdonald? Who was his?
I don't want anything Jimmy Kimmel is selling.
No. Think back to the Man Show.
Oh, that was Adam Carolla.
Adam Carolla. When they did the Man, like that's the halftime show that we want. We want the Man Show. They gave it to us one time, and it was glorious. Every wonderful second of it. Excuse me, I need a minute. Okay, but we're never gonna get it. We're never gonna get the Metallica Godsmack kick-ass show. It's always got to be something frou-frou.
No, we're gonna get
unless it's Dr. Dre.
Which was awesome.
Which was great.
And then you're not getting another one. Sorry about your luck.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN. Asheville will take a quick break. Who knows what we'll do when we come back.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now.
Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye neti pot, hello Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests.
Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is ESPN Asheville. We're live in the Ingles studio.
You thought that first hour was irreverent. So did we.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just looked at the board of, hey, all the things we wanted to talk about before we did power rankings. We hit one of them.
We did. We got the power rankings coming up in the next hour. Start for the bottom. Now we're here, 32 to #1. Every team in the NFL shifted positions this week.
Except one. One team stayed in the same spot.
You got to be bad to do that, right?
Nope.
Nope.
It's one of the good ones.
Oh, it's one of the good. Oh,
everything
that's right.
just flipped around them.
That is right. Yep, right there at the top. Look at that. Anyhow, power rankings coming your way in just a little bit here in the program.
I think we should change the tagline of this show.
Yep.
You know, we've been Beer City's best sports talk since we started doing this.
Yes.
This is ADHD radio to the highest extreme.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was built into the cake. If you'd ever watched us for any extended period of time, you realize that we are not bound by any script.
Yeah, we're two men that really probably should have prescriptions for Ritalin.
Oh, 100%.
And if we had it, we would probably take it, and it would change the whole tenor of the show.
We live by the philosophy of F it, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
And we do it each and every day right here in the Sportsocracy. Play DFS football with us all season long. You still get in on the contest. 4 lowest scores from the season drop. So if you haven't gotten into the battle for the belt yet, don't worry about it, because your cumulative scores to get into the playoffs at the end of the season, you can pick up and not have a nary a zero.
This is the last week to get into the season-long contest, and next week we will unveil, for those of you that didn't get into this contest, a way that you can be a winner too.
Standard contest and the Eliminator Challenge. Available proceeds going to Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project from the Battle for the Belt, as always. Power rankings are next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray sky winds the next few days, but really not a ton of rainfall. Some sun pushes through the clouds this afternoon. No mention of rain today. 75. Tonight, a chance of showers late. 59. Tomorrow, some fog back into the morning. Some light rain and showers scattered around throughout the day. 70 degrees, but again emphasizing not much rain. Thursday, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. 75. Friday, mostly sunny. 78. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at Babbel.com/TNC.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day, and they're fun, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now try Babbel free. Text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair!
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, we're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Watch us live in the studio each and every afternoon. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday. And everybody shifted this week, save for one team that you're not going to hear that name for a long time, until the end of next hour, in fact, here in the Power Rankings. But we do start in some familiar confines at the bottom of the list.
There's only one team this could possibly be.
At number 32.
Is the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, you just lost 70-20. You gave up over 700 yards of offense.
You got maddened. Like, literally, you are the kid who doesn't know what the buttons do, and you got smacked around by your friend that sits in his mom's basement and plays this game all the time, which I'm that guy. You play me in Madden, that Miami Dolphin game is how it's going to look. I can attest to that.
You never beat me that bad. I never played you twice, but you never beat me that bad.
There you go. Ask Brian Haynes what happens the second time.
100%. I'm not going to play you again now that you know how I can stop you. 70-20.
Yeah, it was. That's the worst team in the NFL. I'm not sure that it's even close. There's only one team to me that's even in their stratosphere. What do the Broncos do well? You don't run it well. The defense just got annihilated to a historic level. The best thing the Denver Broncos do is Russell Wilson. End of message. Repeat the line. Woof.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. That was the only team that could be at number 32 this week after the historic loss.
And I really feel like there's only one team that could be at number 31.
Yes, it's the other team that got matered this week.
The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, you lost by 30 to the Kansas City Chiefs. 31, excuse me. Didn't mean to sell the Chiefs short on that one. 41-10. And you're not good at anything. Justin Fields threw for under 100 yards in the game. I mean, I get he was the top rusher.
Let's go.
Yeah, 47 yards. Let's go.
The amount of Justin Fields apologists that I'm getting is dwindling by the day.
I was going to say, are they still hot and heavy?
There are still a few. They're still out there.
What's the argument there?
Well, the coaching staff's awful. You got to give him time. We've given you plenty of time. I know exactly what you are, and it's not going to change. And I don't even think it's debatable at this point.
What, that the Bears are the second worst team in the league?
No, that the Justin Fields thing is done. It is done. It is done. It is done.
Yeah, but they're still trapped in it.
Are they, though?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really agree with you that they're still trapped in it.
I feel like you're fighting a losing battle there. And
okay,
I just can't see Matt Eberflus and that team turning to Justin Fields and going hit the bench. I just don't see it happening.
Well,
they will ride this until they can't anymore.
Well, I'm going to ask the question that I asked yesterday about Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. Do you want to keep your job or not? Because if you don't, then yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Because you're headed on a trajectory of we all got fired in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We made one really horrifically stupid decision, and all of us got fired. Again. For me, I think you have to go to Tyson Bagent and hope that you found something in him.
Whew.
I mean, look, you already have another first-round pick that's going to be pretty good because the team you got that pick from is coming real soon. With that, you have the ammo to do practically anything you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could say, hey, look, we found this undrafted kid that nobody really believed in, that might be enough to keep your job. I don't think you should in the first place. If I'm Chicago, I'm firing Matt Eberflus. We're getting into where we can count this in days.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a stupid hire when you made it. It looks even dumber now because you can't move the ball to save your life. But you added all this talent. You spent all this money. And guess what? You're worse than you were last year.
Mm-hmm.
The only saving grace is that somehow the Denver Broncos are worse than you are. Kelvin Joyner asked in the YouTube comments, all jokes aside, how good of a running back would Justin Fields be? Well, I don't think he could pick up a blitz to save his life.
No, he's definitely not a blocker.
This is the problem I've always had with him, is that you run well, but you run well on plays that break down. So you hit an edge and you're so fast. There's a reason that we don't send draft scouts to Olympic time trials. Because you also have to have some football talent, too, and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 30.
The Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers.
Tank, look,
I don't
Panther
agree
fans,
with this.
Tank, fault for you?
Yeah, I don't agree with this.
Okay, you tell me the team that should be behind them.
The team that should be behind them?
Yeah, the team that should be behind them.
Houston Texans.
You're drunk. Did you the team that just shellacked the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yep.
C.J. Stroud might throw for 473 yards.
You think so?
Look, I'm not telling you that the Texans are good. I'm just saying through 3 weeks, it is really obvious which of those two quarterbacks is better right now.
Yes.
Now,
Clearly.
do I think that's going to continue to be that way? No, I don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I wasn't even taking Bryce into consideration here. With Bryce, this fits. With Andy, I think they're a little bit better. And I think they should stick with him for a week or two.
Oh, well, you said that yesterday. They're not going to.
There's no evidence that they're going to. But I think they should. Stick with him for a little bit and just at least for this next rough stretch of games here. Because that offense could move the ball this past week against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was...
he also couldn't stop anybody.
Well, that's
so the one
true.
thing that you hung your hat on is, and you kept telling me this, oh, look how good the defense is. The defense got scattered, smothered, covered, diced, chunked, and chopped. So the one thing that you hung your hat on, you couldn't even do this past week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with you. They're better equipped to win right now with Andy Dalton.
Yes.
I also don't know if that wouldn't put something in Bryce's head. I mean, if you can hide it with an injury and he's not ready to play for 2 or 3 weeks, okay.
I don't know Bryce personally, but I feel like that's something you could explain to him. Look, we want to make sure.
Well, you don't want to rattle his confidence.
No, this is nothing to do. You're still in a learning process, and we're going to help you get to where you want to be, bud.
Yeah, here's the other problem. Here's the other problem with that. You're going to get dog-walked in 2 of these games anyway. I don't care who you play.
Which is kind of the point as to why would I throw him out there? Why would I throw him out there if we're going to get dogged anyway?
Now, after the bye, you've got 3 of the 6 worst teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So you got some winnable games there. And I think it'll be good in the long run. But I'm getting to a fear that trading that pick next year to get Bryce Young is going to age poorly over the course of this season.
Maybe so. Or Bryce could come back and they could, grow in pains, get better, and then win a couple of games. And then maybe that pick's not so high.
How many games do you have to win for Panther fans not to go, what did we do?
6.
Is there a possibility of this team winning 6 games?
Possibly.
I don't see
And you got 2 with Tampa left. You got Tennessee.
Well, they
Atlanta
never sweep
still
Tampa.
On the schedule.
Even when they were good, they didn't sweep Tampa.
Well, but you got Indianapolis, you got Chicago, Houston's still out there. I mean, it'd be thin to get to 6, but
we got to 4.
Could be done.
6 would put your pick somewhere in the neighborhood of back into the top 5, beginning of the second 5 in the top 10.
Right. Tampa picks 8, you pick 7.
Do you realize who that means you're going to have traded up here? Do you know who's going in the top 10 of this class?
Either way, it's going to be bad.
All right, so take Caleb Williams and Drake May out of it. Jared Verse, Marvin Harrison, Olaf Fashanu, who's better than any tackle in this class, and it's not even kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, who I don't love, but he's still a really high-level cornerback prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Alt, Brock Bowers, J.C. Latham, Emeka Ibuka, Malik Neighbors, Dallas Turner, Keon Coleman. I actually went over 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't done yet. Because I didn't even say Kalen King, who I think is the number 1 corner in this class.
Okay.
It's not going to age well. Bryce Young, you better be right. You better be right. Because whoever takes over the Chicago Bears has 2 really prime pieces of capital. And if it ends up that those 2 picks are in the top 5,
mm-hmm.
Can you just imagine for a second? We said this about Arizona. We never thought this happened with Chicago. Just imagine Arizona ends up with 2 picks in the top, I'll say 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the Cardinals and the Texans are both slightly better than we thought. And the Bears somehow end up with 1 and 3. And wind up with Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And Panther fans have to look at that forever going, what did we do?
I'm still not hearing an argument against starting Andy Dalton. Okay, that's even more of a reason. Oh, the offense is moving better with Andy Dalton? Guess what? We got to get that pick as high as it can be so this doesn't blow up in our face. Now, that offensive line is terrible.
It's awful. Yeah, it'd be
I don't want to go up against Danielle Hunter next week, Aiden Hutchinson the next week, and then Jalen Phillips and whoever else Miami's throwing at me the next week.
Man,
maybe I'll take my chances.
Man, it'd be really good if you had a pick in the top 8 and you could take one of those awesome tackles that 3 of them, top 10.
But what if you hadn't made that move and you wouldn't have a quarterback?
Well, I mean, you're arguing that you should be playing the backup that you got for nothing.
For now.
Yeah, for now. I mean, look, I was fine with it at the time because I didn't think you were this bad. It's not.
But here we are. Well. Here we are. Facts don't care about your feelings.
And I'm not saying that I had this right or anything like that. I'm just saying 3 weeks, this is aging like milk.
Yes. Yes, it is. Number 29 this week.
The Houston Texans.
Yep. They got fight. I'll give them that.
Hey, cool. You beat the Jaguars. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's a good win for you.
And C.J. Stroud does look like the best quarterback in this class early. What? Excuse me? Come on.
Well, Anthony Richardson, if he could stay healthy, would look like the best quarterback in this class.
So,
which is sad for Carolina.
So C.J. Stroud looks like the best quarterback in this class because that's what we were worried about with Anthony Richardson was health.
No, God, no. That's not what I was worried about. That might have been what you were worried about. I was worried about this kid can't hit the broadside of a barn. He's got a bazooka, and he has absolutely no idea where it's going to go. So, I mean, look, it does appear that you may have hit on C.J. Stroud. It's very early. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to throw this many touchdowns with no interceptions his first 3 starts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was that many yards, too.
Yep.
Throwing for 300 yards 2 weeks in a row and not throwing an interception. So, I mean, there's a lot to like there. I think you hit on something with Tank Dell, who should be the second highest waiver priority this week in fantasy football. Because he's real good.
Yep.
And Will Anderson's been good. I just still look at this team and go, what exactly are you going to be?
Awful with a little bit of fight. The same thing that they've been for the last 2 years since Deshaun Watson went down. They're the team you don't really want to play. You're going to go into it thinking we're going to walk all over these guys, and guess what? They don't. You don't. Because there's a lot of veterans, as you say time and time again, there's a lot of veterans on this team that are fighting for jobs. They're trying to stay in this league, right? And the Houston Texans
there's
is the only way
certainly
that
a
they
merit
can
to
do
that
it.
because there's a couple teams here that their rosters look like expansion rosters, but they fight.
Exactly. Because
and Houston has fought every single week.
Everybody's living on the edge, and every Sunday you've got the coach in there telling you the same thing. Nobody's expecting you to go out here and do anything today. You can go out here and you lose 70-20, and nobody's going to be surprised because they think you're awful.
The only reservation I would have about Houston, you don't have a lot of wins left, but you didn't think we'd beat the Jaguars. You're right, but now you have, and now every coach you play has that talking point of don't beat Jacksonville.
Exactly.
Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Give me Pittsburgh, and I don't care what the number is. I don't care if it's 13.5. I will take the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You shouldn't be shocked by that. Jacksonville does this every year, right? Even they haven't been good many years, but even when they are good, they have that game. They just lose for no reason. Just, we didn't show up today. Maybe that's what happened against Houston, or maybe Houston is actually okay-ish at football.
Hey, they're only the 4th worst team in the NFL.
Indeed.
Let's go, Houston Texans.
5th worst team in the NFL, and number 28. We'll tell you who that is coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under. like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's battle for the belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Power Rankings Tuesday. 5th worst team in the NFL.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Number 28 this week. The Vikings rolling in. Well, I mean, it obviously hasn't been a great start to the season for them, and they lost another close one. Hey, that's 3 losses this year and 3 one-score games.
Let me tell you a fun. Oh yeah. Your luck there ran out aggressively.
You got 11 of them last year, and you're 0 for 3 this year.
Yeah, let me tell you a fun stat about the Minnesota Vikings. How many quarterbacks in the NFL have thrown for more yards than Kirk Cousins?
Tua Tagovailoa.
0. How many receivers in the NFL have more receiving yards than Justin Jefferson?
Tyreek Hill.
0.
Oh.
How many defensive ends have more sacks than Danielle Hunter?
Myles Garrett.
TJ Watt.
Missed it.
You have the leading passer in the league, the leading receiver in the league, and second in sacks. You're still 0-3.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to lose a lot more games. I got a lot of flack for saying the Vikings should be listening on Kirk Cousins. They 100% should. Your season's over. You can tell me anything you want to. Look at their schedule and tell me how you're going to get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. We get the Panthers and the Bears 2 of the next 3 weeks. Yeah, the games in between that, Chiefs, scattered, smothered, covered, diced, and chunked. 49ers, Packers, at the Falcons, Saints, the Broncos and the Bears, and the Raiders. Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. Welcome to 4-13, because that's where you're headed. Kirk Cousins or not.
Yeah.
And if you're smart with Justin Jefferson, because you're not bringing back Kirk Cousins regardless, I don't think. I don't see a path unless it's a 1-year bridge because they just picked too high. I mean, do you agree with him?
Yeah.
So why would you not look to move him right now? Just go to Kirk and be like, Kirk, you're a great team guy. This is not going well. We got to satiate Justin Jefferson. We're trying to be bad. We got a lot to fix, and we need a quarterback. And you're up there in years. You're not the long-term solution. We can go get a pick from the Jets or whatever other loser franchise would make a move. We got to do it.
How much would the Jets give, though?
I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I mean, if I'm Minnesota and you'd give me a conditional 3 that could become a 2 if you went to the playoffs, I'm in.
Okay.
Become the 1 this year if you go to the Super Bowl? Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
That's just more pieces I can put around Caleb Williams or Drake May or whoever my next quarterback is. Because you're not a Super Bowl contender right now. That defense is awful.
Right.
Genuinely awful.
Oh, most definitely. I did not think that they were this bad. I thought the offense would be good enough to carry them, and it has to a point. I mean, you can't rack up those kinds of stats. And you look at, I saw a stat the other day that Kirk Cousins' like QBR is one of the highest in the last 25 years or something through 3 games in the NFL. He's doing everything he can, right? He's putting it all out there. He's doing everything possible. But with Kirk Cousins,
you're going to win games that mean absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you want to do?
No.
I mean, I'm the only one that says this out loud because everybody has this gnashing of teeth when you hear tanking. Yet tanking is good. Tanking is the right thing to do. The Jacksonville Jaguars were the most woe-begotten franchise in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You tanked out 1 year, wound up with Trevor Lawrence, and look at you now. Last week notwithstanding. Minnesota, are you signing up for 2 or 3 years here of 6-11, 7-10? Because if you're not, you're going to have to do something different. Because you don't attract free agents because it's cold. The stadium's cool. Okay. Do you want to live in Minneapolis, Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know what you do to move forward here.
I'll tell you what it is. But you move forward with Kirk Cousins, you go to Justin Jefferson and offer him $1 bajillion and say, we have a plan at quarterback. Trust us. We're going to take care of you. There's the offer. 3 copies, press hard. Get it done.
Right.
But it's not going to be Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he's not the problem, but he's not a long-term solution either.
Right. We know Kirk's not the problem. But there's a lot of uncertainty around the future of that franchise at the moment. They already started the sell-off. Let's see where it takes them. Number 27 this week.
The New York Football Giants.
They got handled again this past week by the San Francisco 49ers on Thursday Night Football.
Speaking of teams with quarterback issues, and this one's completely different. Minnesota has a very talented quarterback that's just not for long. The Giants have a very not talented quarterback who's for way too long.
Yes. Way too long and way too much money.
That's why you don't pay mediocre quarterbacks.
Yeah. This team is not good. They're terrible. The offensive line is gross. The defense is not good.
Which is crazy how much you've invested in that line, and it's this bad.
Mm-hmm.
The weapons haven't been there. With no Saquon Barkley, you just don't really have anything that's
pops.
There's not much there.
No. There's not much to this team once you get past that. And I don't see a path out of it. Because you gave the money to Daniel Jones. And guess what? It's not working.
No.
Right? And Brian Daboll and his system, it was so magical last year. Well, this is a different year. And you don't look anything like you did last year.
No. I mean, we said in the offseason, the schedule's way too difficult. The quarterback's not nearly good enough. And this is going to be a long year. And that's what I see through 3 games of the New York Giants.
But watching that game Thursday night, I felt like this was a different team. Like, remember that spunky little upstart team that was just us against the world last year after they won the first 5 games of the season or whatever it was? And they were like must-watch TV every week. Not because the team was so special and putting up points and stuff, but because they brought that fire to the field. That was a dead team that I saw against San Francisco. Losing control quickly. Number 26.
Andrew Ayers in our YouTube chat says that the New York Jets should be next. They're not, and that's just how bad the bottom of the NFL is right now. Because number 26, the Tennessee Titans. Woo! 27-3. And since Ayers said that about the Jets, let's play a fun game. Who has a better defense, the Jets or the Titans? Because this is the same game I played.
Jets, it's not close.
Now, offensively, can either of these teams score points?
Not really.
Is Breece Hall better right now than Derrick Henry?
Yes.
There you go. And end of message, repeat the line. All right, cool. You got a better head coach. You don't have a better anything else. Don't worry. You don't have to wait long to see my Jets. It's coming very soon. But the bottom of this league is dog water. Because just remember, the Indianapolis Colts, who we haven't talked about yet, they haven't appeared here. And this was a team that we thought would go 2-15.
The Titans got dominated this past week. Cleveland Browns, 27-3. They were able to muster a field goal in the first half and then nothing after that. Derrick Henry had 11 carries for 20 yards.
That, I think, the most surprising part of this season is that you've had Tyjae Spears out-snapping him, and he's been better. He hadn't been good. He's just been better than Derrick Henry. That's how bad he has been. I just look at Tennessee and go, you don't do anything well.
No.
You defense well at times, and then Ryan Tannehill puts you in horrifically bad situations.
Yep.
Ayers commented and said, I would take Tannehill over Zach Wilson. Do you know what their two QBRs right now are?
6 and 4.
Zach Wilson's 26.7, Ryan Tannehill's 27.9. The only one worse than the two of them is Justin Fields.
Oof.
They're 7 points behind Bryce Young. Think about what I just said.
Mm-hmm. And that dude has played 2 games.
He's played 2 games, and he has not been good in either one of them.
No, he has not. All right. Number 25.
The Indianapolis Colts.
What was that? Oh, why the Colts got to be this team all the time? Just.
I mean, I'll give you the answer, but you're not going to like it.
Tell me.
It's the exact same thing that Carolina went through. Hey, you brought in a vet quarterback because Richardson was hurt. He will come back the second he is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They may hold him out this week. I've started hearing that they want to be sure that he's okay. And the minute Anthony Richardson comes back, you're going to go back to the exact same team you were.
Yep.
Because Gardner Minshew is showing that with Michael Pittman and Josh Downs and all the pieces that you've got, Zach Moss finding some fountain of youth to actually be a good NFL running back for the first time in his life.
He had to carry it 30 times to do that.
Which is insane. I saw that number and went, am I reading that right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a running back with 30 carries in an NFL game in 20 years.
Derek did it once, didn't he?
I'm sure he did. It's called hyperbole.
Ah, gotcha.
A little hyperbole.
Gotcha.
I still don't look at the Colts and go, you're any good. With Gardner Minshew, you can win games. You're scrappy. Yeah, so are the Texans. So are the Titans outside of playing the Browns.
Yep.
So are another team that we haven't talked about yet.
Yep.
You got a lot of those. You know what you're not? Very talented. So one of the bigger surprises, since we said that about Derrick Henry, one of the bigger surprises this year, how good Michael Pittman has been. I had an undraftable grade on him as a fantasy football player this year because the Anthony Richardson thing just scared me to death. He's 20th in the NFL in receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
And in like the top 6 in receptions and targets.
Ain't it great to be the only guy in the room?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if there was another receiver playing this team for this team worth his salt, would Michael Pittman be doing this well?
He's 6th in targets, and he's tied for 4th in receptions with Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs. He's also averaging 9 yards a completion, which that's not particularly good.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back for the break, we'll continue with the power rankings for Week 4.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray sky wins the next few days, but really not a ton of rainfall. Some sun pushes through the clouds this afternoon. No mention of rain today, 75. Tonight, a chance of showers late, 59. Tomorrow, some fog back into the morning. Some light rain and showers scattered around throughout the day, 70 degrees, but again, emphasizing not much rain. Thursday, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Friday, mostly sunny, 78. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
We are back on ESPN Asheville. It's Power Rankings Tuesday for Week 4 in the NFL. Number 24 this week.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
My good Lord, you're not good. Talent-wise.
But
man, do you ever play hard.
Yes, they do. Jonathan Gannon he's doing some things with that team. And they're just sneaking up on people. So far. That's the thing.
So far.
That's the thing. Like, whatever they're doing, whatever scheme he's using to catch these guys off guard, they're going to figure it out. Right? This is not a talented team.
No.
But he does have a lot of athletes that he's using in obviously effective ways to jump out in front on teams, and they're going, whoa, what just happened? It happened to the Dallas Cowboys this week. You can write off the New York Giants because they're bad, right? But when you do it to the Dallas Cowboys, it means a little more.
We could play a game with the Arizona Cardinals that is Arizona Cardinal or Catholic Cardinal, and I'm not sure you get more than a handful of them right.
Okay. Pretty sure, because the Catholic Cardinals, they all got weird names. So
not possible.
You'd have to.
All right, St. Louis Cardinal.
There you
Whatever.
Go. There you go. Throw it back to the Philadelphia Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are 1-2, beating the Dallas Cowboys this past week. I mean, we thought, is there something to this team when they got out to a lead on Washington? And they got out to a lead on the Giants. And then the Giants had to have the biggest comeback in franchise history.
There's just a talent deficit. I mean, look, I hate to use this example, but it's the one that was brought up in the chat. If the New York Jets played as hard as the Arizona Cardinals, they wouldn't be 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, and they are. They're exponentially more talented. If you told me right now one of those two teams somehow managed to win 8 games, I'd bet my house it was the Jets. Because the Cardinals are going to run into this every single week. And the more times you scare teams like that, the easier it is for a coach to go, don't let them sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm.
They will bust you in the mouth and make you look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? it stops happening.
Yes.
Because teams know you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at with Arizona. I mean, yes, you've looked impressive. You looked impressive against Washington. No, that's not quite as impressive now as it was after they got smoked by the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the Cowboys. This week you play at the 49ers. How many times do you think Kyle Shanahan has pulled the Dallas Cowboys name out of a hat?
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means you're going to go into San Francisco and probably get rocked 35-6.
Mm-hmm.
Play the Bengals the next week, at the Rams, at the Seahawks, Ravens, at the Browns. You're 1-8.
Yep.
You're not winning any of those games.
Mm-mm.
You might trip one of them later on down that line. I don't think so because the Ravens are well coached, so are the Seahawks.
Yeah. So are the Rams.
Yeah. And the Browns are just so much more talented than you that you're not going to beat these teams.
Mm-hmm.
But you deserve your flowers for a week for coming out and popping Dallas right in the nose.
Absolutely. Climbing 4 spots this week in the power rankings from 28 to 24. Number 23.
Fire them cannons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Down 22 to 3 before you could muster anything on the offensive side against Philadelphia last night. You got 2 wins on the season so far, and that's just fine with me. We can stop there and let's move on.
Let's not win any more games.
No more.
Fellas, most of you are not going to be here next year.
Yeah.
So if you could leave me in better shape, that would be awesome.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that's not how this goes.
I need 14 straight losses here to end the season. Let's go.
Yeah, I just look at Tampa Bay and go, Baker Mayfield does what Baker Mayfield does. He beats really bad defenses. That's the reason people get duped on him. Every once in a while, he'll have a game that surprises you against a team that is better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
But that leads to 6-11, 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of reach for that quarterback you want so desperately.
Hello.
What's going to make me laugh?
Sanders.
He ain't coming out. After last week, he certainly ain't coming out. His dad has already said that, and then he went out and threw that up last week. We'll get to you in 2025.
Okay, Michael Penix.
You should be so lucky.
Am I shooting too high?
Probably. We're looking more in that Cam Ward.
J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah, he could probably do that.
Yeah, there we go.
I like Cam Ward. I don't even know why I said that. I like him a lot. That's probably too high for you as well.
They'll get one.
You will get an actual U.S. quarterback.
Yes.
That much I know.
Yes.
Who it is, that much I don't know.
You may end up picking the Justin Fields of the class.
That'd be hard to do.
But Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing to the Eagles last night, no big surprise. They fall this week 1 spot in the power rankings just because everybody else is dog water too. Now, 1 spot ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 22.
The JETS just end this.
I love how it's still, you don't care anymore, remember? You don't care?
I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
I don't care.
That was,
don't care. I'm not even going to watch the game this week. You know why? Because they play the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess who they play next week? It's not next week. It's 2 weeks, I think. It's Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep looking at that schedule going, ooh, man, I hope we beat the snot out of the Broncos and beat the Giants, because other than that, it's going to be a bleak fall.
So it's another...
Better hope for a better December, because it's not going to be good while leaves are falling.
Yeah, it's another big tumble for the New York Jets after that offense was absolutely terrible yet again. Everybody and their brother calling for Zach Wilson cannot be on this team anymore. Like, you don't even don't even let him wear a uniform anymore.
But then you bring in Trevor Navyman, and why? Why would you do that? Of all the quarterbacks that you could possibly have, why would you bring in the least threatening quarterback there's ever been?
Because even he's a threat now.
No, he's not.
To Zach.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Trust me, any Jets fan that remembers Trevor Siemian, no, he is not. He is awful. Trevor Siemian is awful. There is no threat there. That's why they brought him in. He's not a threat. He's a vet guy that started games, and him being in the room will be good for Zach. This is how delusional the Jets' brain trust is right now. It's just going to get worse. Somebody asked why they're this high. Because they started in the top 10. Like Vegas, it turned like a cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
Give it time. You play the Chiefs and the Eagles in 2 of the next 3 weeks. It ain't going to end well.
Score 17 total points, if that, against those two teams and give up 30 at least each week.
I don't think they'll give. I think that those 2 games will probably, even though I don't care, will probably make me even madder because I think the defense holds up against both of them.
Okay. Jets falling from 14 to 22.
Biggest tumble of the week.
Of course it is. Also taking a fall at number 21.
The Washington Commanders. Yeah. Hey.
Wasn't a great week for Sam.
What was that? That was not good at all.
That was bunch of turnovers.
In terms of if you're going to football, you should football better than that because that was a disaster. And it really makes me call Eric Bieniemy into question because that game plan was terrible. That looked like a first-time play caller with a young quarterback that just threw him out there to get slaughtered. Now, do I still believe in Washington? More than he does. I still believe in Sam Howell. I still believe in the weapons. I still think they're going to beat good teams. But I told you when you said you were taking – that was the dumbest line I've ever seen.
Right.
And then you took the Commanders. Chief David Zach and I looked at each other and went, what did he just say? Did he just say it out loud? And he beat us for the second week in a row.
I did. I even gave you one. And I still beat you by 2 games.
He didn't mean to. He picked the Commanders. I feel like the Commanders should count for 2 losses for you.
No, that's not how that works.
But it should.
Well, you want to start doing these with confidence scores?
I'm doing that with gambling picks this week.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, because I've had too many people ask me, well, it didn't look like it was a good week. Yeah, because I had $1 billion on South Carolina and they covered. That went good. I don't bet the same amount on all of these games, and I feel as though I should tell you which ones I'm doing that with.
There you go.
In the effort of full transparency.
Yeah, just for full transparency here, 9-6-1 was the champion this week and beat the Chief, and that was, the guy who picked Washington. Sometimes you take a swing, sometimes you miss.
You ever heard
took one.
You ever heard the phrase that a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Blind squirrel.
We'll see.
I think I'm going to change your name on the door. Look, I think I'm going to have somebody come scrape that off and just put blind squirrel.
Look, I've proved it last year, and I'll probably prove it again this year. I am like the Los Angeles Chargers of the pick'em game. I'll do well throughout the season, but I'll blow it in the playoffs because I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, Washington's not good at football. And
they still have pieces.
I keep trying to tell you that.
They have pieces. I'm not tapping out on them completely. I know you are. I'm not.
Yeah. Okay, when you say I'm not completely tapping out on them, what's the ceiling for you, for this team?
8,
are you
9.
still thinking playoffs for them?
As bad as the NFC is, I'm not saying it's not there. Because I can tell you definitively, just looking at the way everything sits right now, the New York Giants are not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Neither the Chicago Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, the Carolina Panthers, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, or the Arizona Cardinals. There's only 9 teams left in this conference. Would it possibly take an injury to one of those teams in front of you? Maybe. But you don't need many of those before, hey, look, we're the 7 seed that trots in and gets annihilated by the 49ers.
Yeah.
Hail to the Commanders! Fight for old DC!
Yeah. Be loud and be proud. Ugh. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. Power Rankings Tuesday. Washington Commanders coming in at 21. Number 20. We'll give you after the break. Stay with us.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Each and every week, there is entertainment for free on Xfinity, so you always have something new to explore. Make discoveries watching documentaries from Magellan TV. Catch up on timeless movie gems with Flix Fling. Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with picks from Sony Cine and Kid Street. Or lock into the groove of iHeartRadio's Fiesta Latina playlist. We unlock premium entertainment every single week. Just keep checking in to see what's available. Say free this week into your Xfinity voice remote.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on Around the NFL. Win bragging rights at this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
One of Western North Carolina's favorite half marathons is back. The Geyser Growl Half Marathon, presented by Hillman Beer, October the 21st, starting at 8 a.m. This fun and scenic race during the peak of leaf season takes you from Lake Tomahawk and Black Mountain down to Old Fort and passing the iconic Andrews Geyser. The race finishes at Hillman Beer with hot soup and cold beer. If you're looking for a fun half marathon, you don't want to miss this. For more information and to get signed up, go to gloryhoundevents.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can join us in the chat.
Also get our fantasy football advice that's coming out today. New little segment that we coined. It's called Bye Bye Bye. Assume what music plays in the background of that. 3 different uses of the word buy. Buy like money. Buy like buy. Buy like bye week.
There you go.
There you go. That's what happens when you don't sleep. You come up with a lot of little very punny titles for things.
It's got alliteration, so it's got my seal of approval.
Is it alliteration when it's the same word?
Yeah.
I thought we had a term for that where they all sound the same.
It's no. All start with the same letter. That's still the same. Number 20 this week.
The Las Vegas Raiders. Ew. Yeah, this is how bad the bottom of the league is.
Yeah, because
I'm not telling you the Raiders are good. I'll tell you they're good. Did they get dog walked like the Commanders?
They did not.
No. Did they embarrass themselves like the Jets?
Nope.
Do they have Baker Mayfield playing quarterback?
Nope.
Do they have no talent like the Arizona Cardinals? No. And there's my justification for how the Raiders wound up at 20. It's actually this bad.
Yeah. Was nice to see Devontae Adams have a couple of tutties this weekend. That helped out your fantasy teams. It's the only relevant thing about the Las Vegas Raiders.
They're just not very good. And Jimmy Garoppolo is turning the ball over at an alarmingly high rate.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Jones now saying he was hospitalized against his will. I mean, the Raiders are just weird.
Constant dumpster fire.
I don't hate them like you do.
That's fine.
Mark Davis and his Floby just really drive you nuts.
I hate them. I hate everything about them.
I don't hate them.
Because it never makes sense.
That's where they belong.
Yeah, never makes sense. Number 20 this week, they should be worse than that, but you
Name
can't
me
have
the
them
team
lower.
they're supposed to be behind.
Right, you can't have them lower, but they should be.
I don't disagree with you. Frankly, I could make an argument that the Raiders, the next team, and the previous 7 should all be lower than they are. I can't put the Broncos at 37. There's only 32 teams in the league.
Exactly. The team at number 19.
Hey, guess what? This team sucks too. The New England Patriots. Woo! You beat the Jets.
Good
Mac
job.
Jones gave a goob punch to Sauce Gardner. Awesome.
That's hilarious.
That's not hilarious.
It is
and
hilarious.
I really wish Quentin Williams had just separated his head from his body.
It was absolutely hilarious when they asked him about it at practice at a gaggle of reporters, and he was like, "Look, I got him down, and I walked by him, and he was like, 'Hey, good game, man.' And then all of a sudden, he reached out and he hit me in the. He hit me in the private parts."
Yeah.
He almost dropped the D word to the media, which would have been hilarious, and we'd have played it forever on this show if he had. Obviously, we'd bleep it out. But, yeah, I don't feel like that's a good idea. Mac Jones, Mr. J.J. Redick, won't you stop doing that kind of stuff? Because he's been notorious for it. He's been called out for this, 3 times in the last 2 years? Doing extracurricular things, tripping people, hitting people in the nerds. Mac Jones is as sleazy as J.J. Redick.
Yeah. Oh, he's Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
That's who I've equated him to.
Grayson Allen, that's the one. I'm sorry, J.J. I hated you too.
Yeah, J.J. Redick just liked to write poetry under a tree. Oh, I like making fun of Duke players.
Excuse me.
No wonder they haven't responded to my request to come to game day yet. Poke.
Yeah.
Like to be there. Really,
well, they
campus.
probably also did a little Google search and
Probably.
went ESPN Asheville. That's a Tar Heel station. Why are we giving those guys tickets?
Probably.
It's the one that makes the most
You
sense.
never know. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
True.
Just ask Travis Kelce.
True. Let's see here. New England Patriots. I mean, this team is what?
You're awful. You're not good defensively. You're not good offensively.
I feel like they're okay defensively against bad teams. Yay!
Yeah, you just played a team that couldn't score if you went home, and they had a chance to beat you. Now, I use the term chance to beat you very liberally because there was no shot they were going to beat you with the cherub playing quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But they had the opportunity.
Number 18 this week.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They're the Arizona Cardinals on steroids. You try really hard. If I hear one more time how good their offensive line is, I'm going to vomit in my shoes. Because no, it's not.
I was going to say,
and
did
if
it
you
look
watch
good
their
last
games,
night?
do what?
Did it look good last night?
No,
it didn't.
Oh, I thought you were combating what
no,
I was
I'm
saying.
on your side here.
I've heard that for weeks now, and I'm like, no, it's not. They run pretty well. The only problem is that Sean McVay completely forgets to do that for extended periods of time, which makes zero sense to me. Last night was a winnable game, and Sean McVay gave it away. And you will never convince me otherwise.
Yep.
I watched every play. And I kept thinking, you're going to find a way to let Joe Burrow one leg beat you. And they did.
Mm-hmm. Number 17 this week, last of the bottom tier.
The Atlanta Falcons.
This is actually the last of the top tier. We just couldn't squeeze them in higher than this. But I feel like there's a pretty sizable gap here.
There's a jump for sure. I just don't know what to do with Atlanta because I feel like you can only win one way.
Mm-hmm. You run the ball. That's it.
That's why they're the last of the, I guess, the middle tier of playoff contender, not Super Bowl contender teams. Because I don't believe in you passing the ball at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you can keep winning just playing good defense and running this way because you're not as good at it as Philadelphia. You should be, not defensively. They have way more players than you.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of running the ball, you should never get away from that. And you did against the Lions.
Yep.
So
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. It's a Power Ranking Tuesday. We'll give you the top half of the Power Rankings coming up next. Stick with us. ESPN Asheville and on the YouTube stream live.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray sky wins the next few days, but really not a ton of rainfall. Some sun pushes through the clouds this afternoon. No mention of rain today. 75. Tonight, a chance of showers late. 59. Tomorrow, some fog back into the morning. Some light rain and showers scattered around throughout the day. 70 degrees, but again, emphasizing not much rain. Thursday, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. 75. Friday, mostly sunny. 78. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
Hey, this is Mike Wright from the Fantasy Footballers Dynasty Podcast. You heard that right. The Fantasy Footballers have officially entered the Dynasty space. Every week, we bring you the same in-depth analysis and entertainment you've come to expect from the Fantasy Footballers, only now it's from the Dynasty perspective. Join me and the rest of the crew every Wednesday for a new episode. Listen to the Fantasy Footballers Dynasty Podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Saturday, September 30th, it's the Oktoberfest Half Marathon and 5K. The Half Marathon runs through a great route in the River Arts District, historic Montford, and West Asheville by the French Broad River. Not trained up for the half? Then enjoy the 5K. There's costume awards and middle-of-the-pack awards for those who aren't in it to win it, but just in it for the fun. So kick off fall with a great run and a great finish at Highwire Brewing. For more information and to get signed up, go to kickitevents.com. That's kickitevents.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country. Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy. We're the Democratic Republic of Sports. We are heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And we are seen everywhere you go with the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the channel once you're through to YouTube, and you can join us in the chat, see us live here in the Ingalls studio.
I got one of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
From our buddy Jason Trump, who said you hate the Raiders because Mark Davis is somehow cheaper than you. He's just got way more money.
Yeah, maybe.
And he cuts his hair with a Flowbee.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with his haircut.
Yes, you do.
I mean, it's terrible, but I mean, I shave my own head, so I get why he doesn't want to spend money on going to a barber.
Well, I mean, shaving your own head is easy when the hedge is so sparse.
I get it, and it's a little weird for a guy with hair to cut his own hair, but he apparently does. So, hey, it's not Mark Davis. It's just everybody keeps telling me how good the Las Vegas Raiders are, and I've never seen it, and I'm never gonna see it.
Hate.
Yeah, it's just.
In the words of your
Haters
new favorite.
Gonna hate.
You beat me to it. I was. If you're gonna use a stupid Taylor Swift line, at least use one that's funny.
Yeah.
Because of how stupid it is.
Yeah, but I do admire that about Mark Davis, being cheap with billions of dollars. Let's go. That's how you get that done. It is Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy, and we gave you the 17 through 32 teams in the last hour. Miss any of it, you can check it out on the podcast at number 16, though.
Go Chargers, go!
Yeah,
I fought this tooth and nail, but I could not produce a team that should be ahead of them.
Yes. This is one of those that feels like they should be lower, but you can't really put them any lower. Now, losing Mike Williams, that hurts, obviously. But this team still has talent to be good.
Could you say that last thing again?
Losing Mike Williams for the season's going to hurt?
You know what that means, right?
Oh, God.
It's Josh Palmer's season, baby!
Why did I not see that coming? It's Quentin Johnston's
I knew
season.
No, it's not. Not under any circumstances yet. Now, it could be. It could be in time. Can I tell you a fun stat that I learned today about Josh Palmer?
Yes.
In games that he starts, name me the receivers that run more routes than Josh Palmer per game, per start.
Who?
Oh, you'd think there had to be a lot of them, right?
I would think.
Justin Jefferson.
That's it?
End of message. Repeat the line.
Hmm.
Do yourself a favor. Go get Josh Palmer. Also, go get Tank Dell and Devon Achane. I'm going to get used to saying it that way eventually.
This team is still coached by Brandon Staley.
Yep. So as long as that's the case, they're always going to be lower than the talent dictates.
Obviously, you have a ding on you for that, but you did win a must-win game this week. And I can't knock you for it, right? That's
hey,
number
you beat
one
the
goal.
Vikings.
That's number one goal. You go into the week. We going to come away with the W, and you did.
Hey, we beat the Vikings, who are bad. Bad. And Justin Jefferson got everything he wanted. And your high-priced veteran cornerback pickup had an arrest warrant put out for him because he forgot to do a class.
Yeah, which is...
J.C. Jackson. Has anybody had a worse week than him? I mean, I think Lou Holtz is up there pretty high. But J.C. Jackson's the winner, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the healthy scratch because he's been playing awful football for the Chargers for the first 2 weeks of the season. They
Do you
scratched
know how
him.
bad you have to be that highly paid and they just go, or you could stay home and we could just play somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still going to get paid? Yeah. But I'm not going to play.
Nope. Nope. And it came out, yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it this morning?
Yeah, yesterday.
That this came out that he has an arrest warrant issued for him up in Massachusetts because when he was playing for the New England Patriots in 2021, he got a traffic violation near South Attleboro, Massachusetts, for going over 100 miles an hour on the road.
He did road crimes.
Yeah. Well, his court date was September the 22nd, which he didn't show up for. Now, this happened in 2021, and apparently they had told him you got to pay a $600 fine and you got to do a 4-hour reckless driving course before your ticket can be satiated. So he had from 2021 until this past week to do that, and he didn't do it. He didn't show up for the court date either. Plus, he didn't do any of the things that he was supposed to do to make this go away. My only question is, you sat on your ass for 12 weeks last year, injured. Not one point could you go, I'll go up to South Attleboro for a day.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Oops.
Okay. I mean, it's not like he's going to go to jail for this or anything. It's just, what are you doing? How do you let this go? How does it end up in the paper that J.C. Jackson didn't show up for a court date for something as simple as traffic school?
Well, because apparently he's as good at lawyering as he is at cornering.
Which ain't very good.
Which is not particularly great.
No. But the Los Angeles Chargers, hopefully they'll get, when Austin Eckler comes back, maybe they'll be a better team. It's the only thing I can cling on to at this point.
One can hope, because Joshua Kelly was real bad last week.
Number 15.
The New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm. Derek Carr, week to week now with the AC joint sprain.
You're going to miss a little bit of time. And here's another little fantasy trinket for you. What percent of target share did Michael Thomas get when Jameis Winston came in?
I don't know.
47%. You might ought to make a call to whoever owns him in your fantasy leagues and just go, hey, it'd be cool if I could have him for a week or two. Then when he goes nanners, you can trade him as soon as Derek Carr comes back.
Mm-hmm. And who are they playing this week? Oh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Team that's terrible in the slot.
Yep.
Because they're playing a guy that Todd Bowles' kid went to school with. Woo! I heard that last night, and I went, Tank hears that line, and I could audibly hear the groan.
I don't even know what you're talking
Especially after he allowed like 9 catches.
What? Who are you talking about?
I can't remember the kid's name, but he played at Rutgers, maybe?
Of course.
With Todd Bowles' kid. And he was an undrafted free agent. Now he's your starting slot corner.
Of course he came from Rutgers.
He's been all over the field, though. And then he was all over the field, usually with a receiver catching passes right past him.
Yep. Big week for Michael Thomas coming. He always loves to screw with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guess who wants payback? Jameis Winston. That's right.
Boom.
Oh, and by the way, are they going to be able to keep up on the scoreboard? Who's going to be on Mike Evans?
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yep. So bench him in your fantasy teams this week because he doesn't do well against Marshawn. Never has, never will. New Orleans Saints coming in this week at number 15. At number 14,
the Green Bay Packers.
The team that just beat them by 1 point.
I never in a million years thought we would have the Green Bay Packers this high.
I didn't either. But I also didn't think everybody else would be this bad.
Well, and there is a point to that. But I didn't think the Packers had this good in them. George Cook asked us earlier if we had talked about the Packers yet. He went to Lambeau for the first time Sunday, traveling from here, and said it was worth every penny. I've heard that is a place that you do want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And look, that team's not bad. Now, are there things about Jordan Love that we're kind of seeing what we want to see? Yes, there are. But have we also seen quarterbacks over the years that if the game scripts and the game plan is good enough, you can hide those deficiencies?
Mm-hmm.
Saw one of them in the Super Bowl last year. So, I mean, it's a different world now with quarterbacks than it used to be. Taylor M. in the YouTube chat asked if we thought the Saints will be okay with Jameis. I only think it's going to be for a week or two. The AC joint is almost all pain management.
Mm-hmm.
So how high is your pain threshold? How can you manage the injury? I don't think he'll be gone for long. He's not going to play this week. They haven't officially ruled him out, but he's not going to play this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be shocked if he's back next week. And I don't think you need him to beat the Bucs.
I was going to say, I believe, like with Bryce Young, with the Carolina Panthers, a little bit different situations here, but principle stands. I've got a backup that can get me through the next few weeks to make sure that he's okay, to make sure that he's as close to 100% as possible when he comes back. Do we need him to beat Tampa Bay? No. Do we need him to outscore New England? No. Houston? Nope.
No.
I think I got that. The next 3 weeks, and then maybe Carr comes back for the Jacksonville game, and we see what we have. It shouldn't he shouldn't be gone long, but I wouldn't rush him back by any means. Jameis Winston can still do some good things for you. He's fine.
Sorry, backtrack there to the Saints.
It's fine. Green Bay Packers. Defense is good.
You really need Aaron Jones back because A.J. Dillon he's not Aaron Jones. No matter how bad we want him to be, he is a mediocre NFL running back.
Mm-hmm.
It's now 2 weeks in a row that he has been handed a prime opportunity and gave you 2 great big grumpers in a row.
Was it really a prime opportunity though? Against 2 teams that have bolstered up their defensive line,
and that's all well and good, but you're the only running back on this team. And you've got a quarterback that you should be throwing checkdowns pretty often, and nothing.
Yeah.
He did not grade out well either week.
It's not his strong suit.
No.
So, I get it.
No matter how bad we want him to be good, he's probably not.
Number 13.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. But they only beat the Raiders. I'm going to say this again. This is how bad the bottom half of this league is. And look, I think there's a high side with Pittsburgh. That defense is good. Take away the San Francisco game. Just act like that didn't happen, or you didn't see it, or whatever the case may be. Through 2 weeks, would you not look at Pittsburgh the same way we looked at them coming into the season? Because you should.
Yeah, I guess.
And Kenny Pickett was able to do not exactly what he wanted to, but he was productive enough against the Raiders.
Right.
He looked lost against the Browns, but the defense was good enough to win you games, and that's what we said. Kenny Pickett will win you some games. Defense is going to win you a lot of them. And you got to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
And when Pittsburgh runs the ball, they look like a different team.
And congratulations, you beat the Raiders. Now I'm going to need you to see you beat a good team. And Kenny Pickett to be the guy to help you win that game.
That's where Pittsburgh has not taken the jump that I thought they would. I mean, he hit, what was it, a 70-yarder to Calvin Austin? You take that away, he threw for like $130 against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Who, yes, I have told you their cornerback tandem is better than people think, and they should, in theory, be able to get after the quarterback, but still, it's not a negative matchup. I'm not going to say it's a super plus, but it's not a negative by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
So if you were going to get right, that should have been the one. And you didn't.
My confidence score is not very high on the Pittsburgh Steelers at this moment.
I can't say that mine is, but I'll do the same thing with the AFC that I did with the NFC. How many teams can you look around and go, you're not a playoff team?
I get it. I'm not saying they're not a playoff team. Because I'm at 7 there, too. I'm not saying they're not a playoff team. I'm not saying that they can't win a whole lot of games. But when I say my confidence score is not high on this team, will I be dumbfounded next week if they go on the road and struggle and maybe lose to the Houston Texans? No, I'm not. Because Kenny Pickett, to me, is that guy.
And I will say definitively, if they struggle and lose to the Houston Texans, I will be dumbfounded.
Really?
And their rating, their spot on this here ranking next week will fall like a rock.
After this team just beat Jacksonville.
That same thing as I said about Arizona. When you have that message all week of, hey, look, this is what they did last week. I mean, they're not in the same class as Pittsburgh talent-wise. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Rookie quarterback against T.J. Watt. No, I'm good. I'm good on every ounce of that.
I'm just, like I said, I don't have any confidence that this team is going to be really good. The record will look fine. They'll have a winning record again probably because Mike Tomlin doesn't do anything other than that. But as far as trusting this team to be a threat, I'm out right now. Kenny Pickett's got to show me a lot more at the quarterback position for that to happen. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 Power Rankings continue next inside the top 12.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hey, this is Mike Wright from the Fantasy Footballers Dynasty Podcast. You heard that right. The Fantasy Footballers have officially entered the Dynasty space. Every week, we bring you the same in-depth analysis and entertainment you've come to expect from the Fantasy Footballers, only now it's from the Dynasty perspective. Join me and the rest of the crew every Wednesday for a new episode. Listen to the Fantasy Footballers Dynasty Podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
The Sportsocracy.
Hello, everybody. This is good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer. Boy, these boys are smart. You talk about goofier than a pet coon. Let me tell you something. This show is a legitimate slobber knocker.
And it's a Power Rankings Tuesday inside the Sportsocracy. We're going to weigh inside the top 12. Number 12 this week.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, losing to the Houston Texans, obviously never a good idea. Especially when you're trying to play that whole are we good game. Because a loss to the Texans, well, definitely hurts the PR campaign.
Well, they just look clunky. I mean, Jacksonville is 1-2. Your one wins over the Colts, which was not overly impressive. You had virtually no offense in the red zone against the Chiefs, and then the Texans just absolutely took it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you do have two in your little home away from home, in London, coming up. They win these two, all those fears kind of go by the wayside.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to go away with beating Atlanta. But if you beat Buffalo in 2 weeks, then sure, yeah, those ills go away. The problem is how fast can you turn a corner and travel across the ocean at the same time, right?
Oh, I mean, I'm not telling you you're wrong.
Right. How do I take a step forward in this process while I've got all this other going on? I don't know. Maybe it'll be a kind of like you said, a home away from homecoming kind of thing when they go back for this 2-week stretch. But I don't know. The more and more you keep talking about Trevor Lawrence, the more and more I'm like, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Maybe Lawrence will just never take the step. Maybe he'll be just okay forever.
Now, here's what I will say. He has played better than stats will dictate over the first 3 weeks. Analytics, love him.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I'm not seeing it on the field. And I always hate when your argument for somebody is immediately excuses, I guess I've been down that path too many times that it always makes me nervous. Of you're not actually telling me why he's so good. You're giving me excuses for why I'm not seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at with him. Now, I will say this. Is he the reason they're 1-2? Nope. No, he's not. Their defense is the reason they're 1-2. And you have invested a lot of money into that front seven, and it has been largely awful. They have a defensive problem. Now, you said not a lot's going to change beating Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I don't 100% agree with you.
Okay.
Because if you can stop Atlanta, who you know literally before the game even kicks off, you know exactly what the game plan is going to be, and it's something that is not advantageous to you, if you can beat them with the travel and all of those things, that will be a little impressive to me. Is it going to change the narrative? No, but it would make me look at things a little differently because their offensive and defensive lines are the problem. Both have been awful. Offensive line a little worse than the defensive line, but both have been awful.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to play better. This team's too good to play this bad.
Yep. 1-2 start to the year, obviously not what the Jacksonville Jaguars wanted to see. Team reeling off a loss. Not really inexplicable because you've already lost a lot. Is number 11.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Played without 7 starters this past week, and it showed as the Indianapolis Colts were able to beat them.
And I'm getting to the point with Baltimore that I'm not sure that a team that lives this hurt can ever live up to its potential.
Mm-hmm. They can't.
This team's better than they have played. But I don't know that you're not going to be battling this all year long. It seems like every single week they lose 2 or 3 guys. They're missing 7 starters last week.
Mm-hmm.
And this version of Baltimore, the version that I saw against the Colts is not even the 11th best team in the league.
AFC.
They're probably the 11th best team in the AFC.
Maybe.
But if they do get healthy, then I think there's something there. I am seeing a slightly different version of Lamar. Zay Flowers was a home run, as I told you it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you're all that great defensively. I'm not sure you're great defensively even when you're healthy. You're certainly not great when you're not healthy.
Yeah.
So they were one of the hardest teams for me to rank because right now I do think they're better than Jacksonville. But I couldn't make a case for anybody ahead of them.
No. The Baltimore Ravens we had them at 6 last week, thinking that, the win over Cincinnati would vault you into something. Well, the injuries were just too much. You're without Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum and Marlon Humphrey and both your running backs. You had to go to Kenyon Drake and Melvin Gordon to do your running this week. And they could do it again next week. Both those guys have been put back on the practice squad, but they will elevate them in a heartbeat if Justice Hill or Gus Edwards can't go again this week. You're just constantly fighting this battle that you cannot win. You cannot live up to your potential if your guys are never healthy.
Yeah, number one thing that the Baltimore Ravens need, a new trainer.
You'd think. You would think so. At number 10.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, so the offense, it still didn't look good last night.
No, because Joe's hurt.
Well,
Joe's hurt. It's abundantly obvious.
But you have to give it to Joe for knowing that you had to win this game and you had to play.
Did you hear his response when they asked about the possibility that he re-injured himself playing on that calf?
No.
He said, yeah, there was a possibility of that, but I also know what the danger was of us going 0-3.
Yeah.
That's what I want in my quarterback.
Did you see the video of the cart ride that he took with the owner of the team?
No.
The owner came down to practice. They're on the field doing stretches, and you see him pull up in the golf cart, and he motions over to Joe. Joe gets up, walks, gets into the golf cart. They didn't even do like a lap around the field. He just kind of hit the gas, and they just did like a 50-foot circle. And you could see, and you could probably tell what he was saying to him was, look, I know you may not be 100%, but we cannot do this. We cannot start out 0-3, and I need you to be on that field. And Joe went, yes, sir, got off, and got back. I mean, it literally, the video lasted 15 seconds.
Well, I mean, last night he looked like a man on one leg. He missed a lot high, and I got pretty irritated at the commentary of, all the practice time missed. No, dum-dum. That's not what's getting him here. What's getting him here is that he can't plant because he's on one leg. They're having to run a massager on his leg on the sideline just to keep him upright. He can't scramble, and he's going up against Aaron Donald. And yet, you hung in there.
He made the plays to extend the drives and get him in field goal range.
Was a masterclass in moving Jamar Chase around against a young defense that couldn't figure it out. He was constantly open. They got on the same page. And what I saw is a Bengals team that the defense is really pretty good. And when Joe is 100% healthy, you better get your shots in now. Because when he's healthy, that's still the same team I thought it was.
The biggest problem they have.
I don't know that he will be healthy.
And their schedule.
Schedule's evil.
Next week, or this coming weekend, at the Cleveland Browns.
Oof.
That's not going to go well, especially considering Myles Garrett's on the other side of that ball and Joe Burrow's on one leg. Now, you do that next week. After that, you got to go to Pittsburgh. That means theoretically, you could be in a world of hurt.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If anything gets Cincinnati this year,
I was looking at the wrong schedule.
I was about
to
say.
That was Baltimore's schedule. No. Okay. Well, all right. I take back what I said because this week you go to Tennessee.
Yes.
All right. Next week you go to Arizona. All right. Let's do that.
Yeah,
all right. That looks way better than Baltimore's schedule.
I thought you were talking about the after the next 2 weeks.
No.
You got 2 weeks to get right.
Yeah, I was thinking that was immediate.
Because then you go Seahawks at the 49ers, Bills.
Yes.
But you do have a bye week.
Yes.
You got a bye week between the Seahawks and the 49ers. That, to me, would be the target. You've got to win 2 of the next 3 games to be 3-3 going into the bye, then going into San Francisco coming off a bye. And Joe's got to be ready for that San Francisco game, no matter what.
Yep. My apologies. I had the schedule wrong there. Cincinnati Bengals, though, this week, coming in at number 10. Number 9.
The Seattle Seahawks. I don't 100% know what to do with this team. I think you got caught by the LA Rams. And then in the last 2 weeks, you've done just about enough to make me feel about the way I did before. But I still can't get the taste of that Rams game out of my mouth. Because if you take the Seattle game away, are the Rams any different than what we thought they were? Oh, well, you played close with Cincinnati. You played close with San Francisco. Okay. San Francisco's line is dreadful. And Cincinnati had a quarterback on one leg. Take the Seattle thing out, that's exactly who we thought they were. And that does bother me, but I think there is a high side, and I think this team is getting better. I think they are getting better every single week because you got to remember about Seattle. Yes, we had very lofty aspirations for them. You got to remember how young this team is. Also lost both their tackles week 1. So there's been a lot of, well, we didn't plan for that. They get Jamal Adams back this week too. And that is going to be a very welcome addition to the pass rush.
Right.
Don't be shocked if he has a rather impressive game on a snap count this week.
And you've got an opportunity to, get another win under your belt going to the Giants. And then you get a bye week. And we'll see where it goes from there. Seattle is still a team that I feel like is very good. And we just have to wait and see. Will they develop into that team that we thought could possibly win this division? Will they be a top seed in the NFC? I think the potential is still there.
Well, they get the Giants and then a bye week. And I'll be honest with you, usually I hate the early bye week. With this team, I really like it.
Got to take the opportunity to get healthy. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville inside the top 8. Next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray sky wins the next few days, but really not a ton of rainfall. Some sun pushes through the clouds this afternoon. No mention of rain today. 75. Tonight, a chance of showers late. 59. Tomorrow, some fog back into the morning, some light rain and showers scattered around throughout the day. 70 degrees, but again emphasizing not much rain. Thursday, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Friday, mostly sunny, 78. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all of this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn it.
That's how Jeremy Green was feeling after the New York Jets lost 15-10 to the New England Patriots this past week. He's backed off on that, though.
I have not backed off on that.
He's backed off on that, though. I'm surprised it lasted a day, but it did almost last 24 hours before he said, "I'll be back next season."
Oh, I didn't say. I never said I was done for good. I said I can't do this anymore.
I just can't do it anymore. Cleveland Browns coming in at number 8 this week on the power rankings, and Deshaun Watson had to perform last week, and he did.
Mm-hmm. And that defense is evil.
Give him credit where credit is due. Now, granted, they were playing the Titans, who we don't really believe in. We don't think that they're good. But when you had to have the plays from Deshaun, he throws for almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, if you take away one turnover fest, they've outscored the Bengals and the Titans 51-6. And 2 of those touchdowns for the Steelers were defensive. Still turn the ball over. By the way, one weekend, are you starting to see what I was talking about on Jerome Ford, or are you still sticking with that Kareem Hunt thing?
No, it's fine.
It's fine. He played 8 snaps.
Who, Kareem Hunt?
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's first week back in the building. Yeah. Not even a full week.
Yeah.
Of course not.
It's Jerome Ford.
Yeah, Jerome Ford had a total of 18 yards on 20 carries.
That was against the Titans. He also scored 2 touchdowns.
That
Maybe that's
did.
the fantasy player in me going, well, I wasn't wrong.
No, you weren't wrong.
I wasn't right for the reason I thought I was right, but I wasn't wrong.
He didn't run the ball well, but he did score some touchdowns.
Oh, look, I like Cleveland. I think they're catching a really depleted Baltimore team this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home. Then you catch the 49ers at home after a bye. And then the schedule really lightens up for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm. I like you.
Nobody wants to talk about this
not
right
so
now.
much after the bye week.
Say it again.
I said I like you this week, not so much after the bye against San Francisco.
After a bye against San Francisco with that defense and Brock Purdy, I feel pretty solid about that. Jim Schwartz gets 2 weeks to conjure up a game plan for Brock Purdy. Yeah, I'm probably going to like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to talk about this. The Cleveland Browns are winning this division. I'm more certain of it right now than I ever have been because Joe's not going to be healthy for a while. The Ravens are killed, and I'm not sure the Steelers could score.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is as good as any of the 3 teams I just said. Oh, but there's no Nick Chubb. Yeah, Jerome Ford against not one of the best fronts in the league going to look a lot like Nick Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
70% of it, yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But the more acclimated you get Deshaun Watson, that team is just terrifying.
Mm-hmm. This has been a scheme that it does not matter who's running the ball. They've been able to be successful with Kevin Stefanski, right? What would it? Dearness Johnson, case in point. I feel like we've seen a couple of guys come in and do this when they've been needed, and it's been just fine. This team is just fine, and they're inside the top 8 in this week's power rankings, and frankly, I'll be surprised if they drop out of the top 8.
I kind of will too. Because the top of the NFL, which is the top 4, depending on how you feel about something that happened last week, they're elite. Then there's a whole lot of beauties in the eye of the beholder from about 6 to 12.
Mm-hmm. The floor for them right now is 10 wins.
I would agree. The floor for them is that they somehow don't win the division and you have to go on the road in the playoffs. But I am about as sure that the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs as any team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. Number 7.
The Detroit Lions.
Okay.
You forgot what direction we were going there for a second.
I did. I almost said 8 again. But nope, we're going up this time. Number 7 is the Detroit Lions. And this team is, I don't feel like Jared Goff gets his due still.
Well, but what's his due?
He finds a way to be good every week, right? Doesn't he? Are you not putting him? Many people, I don't feel like put him in that mediocre tier. They still think he's bad. And I just feel like more people should consider him in that meh tier that we get into with Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins and guys like that. I feel like he belongs in that category.
I would take Stafford over him. I would take Cousins over him.
Sure, but I'm saying right there, he's not among the worst in the league by far.
He does
anymore.
a very good job right now of what he's asked, and that line is protecting him tremendously. We talk about this with Tua Tagovailoa. We're not talking about this with Jared Goff. He's only been sacked 3 times in 3 games, one of which they lost in overtime. So, look, Detroit's really good. And if they ever figure out that, hey, give Jahmyr Gibbs the ball, stop the Craig Reynolds nonsense, whatever else it is you're planning on doing, give Jahmyr the ball. Good things will happen. And then I come back to that division and go, oh, yeah, you get 4 easy layup wins against the Vikings and the Bears. This week will be a big test to me. Going to the Packers, because that's a house of horrors for them. You go in there, and I know Aaron Rodgers called Jordan Love and said, "Oh, you still own the Bears after week 1." Okay. You've owned the Lions, too. Let's see if that continues.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game Detroit should win. Even though it's on the road, you're better than Green Bay. But it also feels like a game that you're going to slip up and let be really, really close, and they could get you.
I don't know that there aren't going to be many really, really close games for this Detroit team. In fact, I'd probably bet my house on it that they're going to be in a lot of Minnesota one-score games this year.
D. Price in our YouTube comment said, no way he would take Cousins over Goff. I didn't even think that one was debatable.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins leading the NFL in passing with a god-awful line and 1 receiver. Hey, look, I understand Kirk's super mid-tier. But, yeah, Kirk's better than Jared Goff.
Yep.
I mean, he's fine. I like Jared Goff. I said that in passing. I didn't necessarily think anybody would.
Well, and then Lee
you're entitled to your opinion.
And then Lee says, no way that the Lions are better than the Packers.
Well, so, I mean, we're getting ready to find out.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. He said
I would say top to bottom,
Thursday.
Detroit's better. But like I said, this also screams to me a game that Detroit will be favored. They go into Lambeau. They let it stay close for way too long, and then they get caught. That's why I said there is a huge division right here where I like all 6 teams ahead of them markedly better than the Lions.
Mm-hmm. By the way, said they ain't better than Green Bay. Vegas disagrees with you because they're a 1-point favorite
Green Bay
at Lambeau. No.
Oh, Detroit
The
is?
Detroit Lions are a 1-point favorite at Lambeau.
I would have had it. That's about where I would have been. About 1.5, somewhere in the neighborhood of a pick 'em, and we'll see what the betting market dictates.
Which means it would be a 4-point game at home.
You said it's point?
Yeah, it's 1 point.
Yeah, it'd be 4 at home.
Yeah. So, I mean, this team is better than Green Bay. I mean, I believe they are. Jeremy believes they are.
It's closer than I would have ever imagined, though.
And like I said, I'll reiterate again. I think you're going to see the Lions have to win a bunch of one-score games to make this happen. The problem is they have the emotional edge in most games because of who they are, because of the culture that they have in their building. And they're going to win a lot of those one-score games. I think they lost like 7 of those last year.
It was several.
They
lost several where they had a lead, too.
Yeah, I may be wrong on that, but I think I'm pretty close to that. There was several one-score games that they lost last year. So that could all come back to the norm for them this year. Number 6.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, so they took a step back, and now they're bounced back 3 spots up this week from 9 to number 6 after they handled the Washington Commanders.
No, they didn't handle the Commanders. They embarrassed the Commanders. You don't see that a lot in the NFL, and I almost felt like it was Buffalo trying to prove a point. I knew when Asheville Police Chief David Zack was in here, and he really laughed when you took Washington.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they've talked about, we got to prove the point here.
Yep.
They did. Does it really change what I think about them? Not really. It just shows me you have that side. Because you lost a game to the Jets that you flat out shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Just flat out shouldn't have.
No,
You obliterated the Raiders.
It took a crazy special teams play for you to lose that game.
You obliterated the Raiders. You obliterated the Commanders at home. Now, next 2 weeks, Dolphins, and then a trip to London. That's a gut check. And 2 weeks from now, I think we'll have a much better read on who the Buffalo Bills are.
Right. Beat the Raiders and the Commanders, as Jeremy likes to say. That and $2.50 will get you a Coke in this Biden economy. Like, I don't care. Those are 2 bad teams that you should have beat the snot out of. And you did. Congratulations. Now let's see you do it against another team. And you're going to have to shoot out with this one. And I'm really not sure that you can.
I'm not sure anybody can shoot out with him. The question is, can you get after Tua? Because he's been hit like 4 times all year.
Mm-hmm.
He's only been sacked once.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, Jacksonville in London. And then you go the Giants, the Patriots, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before you got to suit it up in Cincinnati for a healthy Joe Burrow. That'll be the next gut check moment.
Possibly healthy Joe Burrow.
Possibly healthy Joe Burrow. Should be by that time if everything goes well for the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 5.
The Dallas Cowboys.
All right, you were number 1 last week.
Yeah, it's mighty how fast you fall when you lose to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean losing to the 28th best team in the league, which is what they were last week. Yeah, that's going to ding you every time. That I told you that was the game that I was looking forward to. When I did the Jets plus 9.5, that's the game I was looking for. The game that I know Dallas has in them all the time. They can take somebody lightly. They can just be off the game plan, and it just doesn't look good. And they did that last week.
Mike McCarthy did Mike McCarthy things. Now the question is, how do you respond to it? Because I don't feel really any different about them than I did a week ago. They're not better than Miami, but other than that, I think you can play with anybody in this league.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to avoid what you did last week. Bad thing is the Cowboys do that quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. That they do. Come up with turnovers at the inopportune times. And, this week you get to play the Patriots. So
any Patriots fans taking that one? Because the bank of Jeremy is open.
So you got a chance to rebound here against a team that's not very good. And how does this tend to go? Dallas minus whatever. Right?
That's where I'm at.
You're not getting caught again.
No.
Second week in a row. You're going to be at home against the New England Patriots, and you'll be out to make a statement. It'll probably make another statement to me if New England is able to keep this thing close. Dallas Cowboys coming in at number 5 this week. We'll give you the top 4 next here in the Sportsocracy.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts. Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio.
Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
It is Power Rankings Tuesday, and we have arrived at the top 4 for Week 4 in the NFL. At number 4,
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Philadelphia with the win last night over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really didn't send a great message other than our defensive front is phenomenal, and you better have an offensive line if you're going to try to beat us.
And you better have a really good defensive line, or we can run it down your throat.
Yes, that they did. It was over 200 yards rushing as a team for the Eagles last night against the Bucs, a team that's generally pretty good at that.
DeAndre Swift, I don't care that they didn't have Vita Vea. I don't care. Any team that can run like that.
He played sparingly, but that was the main reason that didn't happen. That the Bucs were not able to stop the run last night.
I will say the main reason they weren't able to stop the run is because the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line manhandled them. Mm-hmm. Vita would certainly have helped, but that line for Philadelphia is real good.
Mm-hmm. The offense is still clunky. You know,
Jalen looks off. They don't throw easily. I'm not sure I believe in Brian Johnson. Nothing last night satiated that, but you've got plenty of opportunities to satiate that.
Hey, yeah, Commanders this week.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, you're going to sleepwalk to 10 wins. You could be not good at football and still win 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
So Philadelphia is going to be fine. They got a lot of time to figure this out, and they run way better than I thought they did.
All right, the only team staying in the same spot from week to week was
the San Francisco 49ers.
Coming in at number 3.
You know what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy.
I still don't buy Brock Purdy. I still don't buy Brock Purdy.
Yet week after week, he keeps just doing it. He's just taking his team out there and winning games.
Oh yeah, he's a legend. He beat. Let's see. Let's look down the power rankings here. He beat number 27. He beat 18. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
The defense beats the vast majority of people.
Mm-hmm.
I still cling to some, and I can't remember now who said it. It was somebody in our YouTube chat. Watch the plays where Christian McCaffrey's not on the field, and then tell me how great Brock Purdy is.
Mm-hmm.
He gets propped up by everything around him. He is a game manager, and he does a great job of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what your ceiling is there, and I cannot put you over the two teams that are ahead of them because they have quarterbacks that can just come out and beat you.
Yep. They will not be taken by surprise this week against the Arizona Cardinals. I can guarantee you that.
Yes.
Number 2.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Feel better after that 41-10 beat down to the Bears?
It's not even it didn't really even have anything to do with them beating the Bears. It's just this is starting to look like Kansas City's supposed to look. Yes, obviously Travis Kelce being back, blah, 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 blah. It's not even that. You're starting to see the creativity in the offense. You're starting to see Kansas City rounding into that Kansas City form.
And
I
your
didn't
Jets
see
are
that.
next.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. If I hadn't already tapped out on this team, this weekend would be there would be a severe weather alert for my liver.
Over under on points for Kansas City against that defense.
I'll bet the spread's really low.
I think I just saw 9.5.
No, I shouldn't have said so. I bet the over under is low.
42.5.
That's probably the lowest Kansas City game's been in 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say I'd probably Kansas City 31-10. I'd probably take the under, honestly.
Okay.
You're going to give Pat Mahomes the ball in with a short field.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that's going to happen. It's going to lead to points. Kansas City's really good.
Yes, they are. And number 2 this week, with number 1 being
the Miami Dolphins.
Because, of course, you have to be. You were number 2 last week. Number 1 lost. So, of course, you're going up to number 1 when you beat a team at number 32 70-20. You put up video game stats against an actual NFL team. There are NFL teams that wouldn't put up video game stats against colleges.
That's not true.
Yes.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
It's not true. It's never been true. You would get embarrassed. I hate when people say that.
You think so?
Yeah, if Georgia played the Denver Broncos, Denver would beat them 55-0.
So just a little bit worse.
Right? Yeah.
Just a little bit worse.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Miami is the most inventive offense I've seen in a long time. I don't know how you stop them. I said yesterday they have steered into the same thing the Golden State Warriors did. All of you have looked for speed. We committed to it. And now that's what we do. And it's how we're going to beat you because you would have to be outrageously fast to keep up with us. And we're so creative that we make you second-guess what you're seeing. The bigger thing with Miami is that you have to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. If you can do that, you can win a whole lot of games.
If they do that, I don't know who can beat them.
Yep. They're number one this week. We'll see how things go. We'll be back with you tomorrow here in the Sportsocracy at noon back on ESPN Asheville. Have a great evening.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray sky wins the next few days, but really not a ton of rainfall. Some sun pushes through the clouds this afternoon. No mention of rain today, 75. Tonight, a chance of showers late, 59. Tomorrow, some fog back into the morning. Some light rain and showers scattered around throughout the day. 70 degrees, but again, emphasizing not much rain. Thursday, chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, 75. Friday, mostly sunny, 78. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.